Adventures! And welcome to the 73rd episode of Dirty 20, an evening of laughter, drama, and adventure that we call a D&D Podcast. 'Tis I, your Dungeon Master for the evening, and once again I am joined by my colourful cast of characters. Hello! So
Hi.
Before we get into the session today, we'll start off with our normal round of shout-outs and things to call out, I guess. And I think, as always, Sam, take it away.
All right. I also stream on Twitch. Sam JKP on Twitch and YouTube, actually. I stream a lot of. I've got the stream really loud and I can hear myself. Let me mute that real quick. There we go. But yeah, I stream a lot of Pokemon, a lot of other stuff, little bits and bobs. Yeah, come and say hello.
Okay. Do you know what? I'm gonna pass this to Jay. Jay's never had to do one before, and now he's gonna have to do it. Oh wow, the bucket hat! I just saw it.
The most gracious, amazing, fun-filled show, Natural Wonders. Streaming Mondays at 6:30. Wait, 7. I've forgotten the time. Is it 7?
It is 7 o'clock on Natural Wonders.
Come get
For
your,
God's sake.
come get your Trandoshan eggs. Make sure they're fertilized. It's really fun, Star Wars role-playing game. Come and see it. We got Mitch, we got Sam there, we got Ewan there. It's a doddle. It's a doddle. We love it.
Hey, can you do my shout out next week as well?
Yeah, sure.
I want you to do all the shout-outs now, to be completely honest.
I could shout.
Just bring the energy.
And last but not least, Maya.
Hi,
What's
I
going
am
on?
also a streamer, Chibi-chan. I stream Genshin Impact, which is a gacha game. So if you like gacha games, if you just like have fun and chilling out, then check it out.
Absolutely. And I guess one final thing is that we have a Discord that we've had for a few weeks now, maybe just over a month, and we put all sorts of stuff in there, both during the game, things like maps and items that we find in our adventures, and it's also a place to just talk about D&D and RPG, so come and join us there if you are so interested. It's a lot of fun. Any other shout-outs or updates to be aware of before we jump into the game? Okay. So, I guess without further ado then, let's dive into today's episode of Dirty 20!
Ooh, and we're
Bring it back. God, I fucked it. There we go.
Raise the roof.
And welcome back. So, previously on Dirty 20. Neck deep in the political intrigue, Fera Carta found themselves trapped between multiple unfavourable outcomes. Whilst the promise of aid from High Lord Theodore was vital, the implications of something darker underpinning the city made for a difficult conundrum. Your attention was drawn aside from the High Lord, when the presumed assassin, Stelbor, asked for aid. As a member of the Unhallowed, he had been tasked with hunting down what the City Watch believed to be a monster, murdering civilians in the night. Untrusting, but considering his usefulness in his skills, you agreed to help. Together, you ventured, meeting with a strange, almost elemental individual calling himself Zuko. He told you about what he had witnessed, some dark form attacking from the darkness. The investigation of the crime scene nearby led you to the conclusion that some sort of vampiric creature could be responsible for the act, and so you followed its trail, deep into the sewers. After some time in the vile underbelly, you found its home. Your ambush went slightly awry, but you managed to corner the beast. Despite best efforts, the spawn transformed into mist and slipped through the grates above. Before anyone could react, Zuko did the same and gave chase, disappearing into the rusting pipes above. And that is where we pick up. So, Fera Carta, you stand now splattered with sewage amid the foul-smelling tunnels beneath Deepbay. Stelbor begins to walk up to the grate in which Zuko has just disappeared through, and looks up. Shit. That's not good. Looks like we just lost our witness. What do you wish to do?
I go for 3 weeks and we're already fighting vampires. Jesus Christ.
I think we waste no time. I don't know if about you, but if you made the assumption that this creature has left to go visit its master.
They have masters?
Or its creator or something. Stelbor was saying that where there is a spawn, there is something that created it.
Something, aye. Something.
Can I see if there's any way to like track it or follow it?
Roll a perception check.
Joke. Will do.
Have a little look.
Oh,
Okay.
hello.
Nice. So you glance around. Do you know what, I'll drag you back to the battle map just so that you can see the space. Oh, Zuko's fucking gone. So you are kind of stood still in this this like sewer hall, I guess. This tunnel. The number of grates above you, and then the door to your right. You look up at the ceiling, and you can see there are numerous grates. They appear to lead to quite small pipes or smaller tunnels within the ceiling, much smaller than any of your forms. You're not sure exactly where they lead. It would be very, very difficult to track exactly where they lead to, but what I will give you is that you can hear the echoing as whatever these two balls of mist, you hear them quietly disappear within the pipe.
I'm just gonna head off in the
But other than
direction
that,
that I hear the echoes going in. So whether that I
they
have to
go-
go around
okay.
and then back.
You walk straight into a wall about 15 foot from you.
Bonk.
Bonk.
The wherever this pipe goes, it goes past where the wall is in the ceiling.
I'm gonna have a little peep through this door.
Okay. You push open the door to have a little look inside. So you you see a room that looks like there is an assortment of just refuge, muck and grime from the sewers themselves. It looks like it might have once been some sort of maintenance room for the sewer network itself, but there are. It looks like that space might have been altered slightly, in as much as the tables and desks and chairs are all shattered and covered in blood and muck. You can see numerous corpses, or parts of corpses at least, and it smells strongly of iron and viscera. Do you want to roll me? You could. I mean, if you want to just kind of scan the room from your perspective, you could roll me a perception, or you could try and investigate further if you wish.
Yeah, I want to investigate further without getting too bloody. Maybe I have to. If I have to get a little bit bloody, I will. But I want to look for any kind of anything indicating to that you could have left that isn't bodies.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check. Nice. So you step into the room. There is an air of death, obviously. It's very pungent. But you continue in. The centre of the room appears to be maybe some sort of sleeping space, where, as best you could describe it, it seems like almost a nest. This gore kind of piled up around, and straw and other torn pieces of material creating some sort of loose bedding. You look around some of the corpses. So you find 5 gold pieces as you search through that you happen upon. But as you're looking past this bedding in the centre of the room, you find something interesting. A torn dress. I mean, it's caked in blood and muck, and it's torn down the sides. With that investigation, it looks like it has been split from the inside, like something has kind of torn through from the inside. I'll also say that you can very clearly see that there appears to be some sort of emblem on the dress itself, and just kind of the top right portion, which appears to be the emblem of a willow tree atop water, ripples of water, almost like maybe like a coat of arms or something to that degree.
Would it be fair to me to deduce this could have been what she was wearing before? Does she have any clothes on?
For the most part, no. I mean, she did have she still had this torn dress on, and I'd even say with that 25, you can tell that it looked like a similar material. Like maybe there were several layers to it, or these were she was wearing the undergarments, but they seem similar.
I'm gonna cut out this. Oh no, I'm just gonna take the whole dress. Can I bunch it up and put it in my bag? Is it?
You absolutely can, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I mean, you'll definitely get a little bit of dried blood and whatever other materials might be present in the sewer on whatever is in the bag, but you can certainly stuff it in.
Maybe I just carry it.
Chaos of the fight. Did we manage to get a good glimpse of?
A good glimpse of what she looked like.
It was. So it was a sheep.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that it looked like a female.
Okay. Yeah.
Or like it
Like
seemed
if-
like
I mean,
it seemed like a young woman whom has kind of gone through some sort of monstrous transformation.
okay.
You go back to the
As
other.
best you can tell. Okay.
I'm right in remembering that we heard her say like something like in between her attacking us. She said, did she say something like "help me" or I can't remember now. She said something of the likes.
She may have done.
Yeah, she did.
Was it "help me"? She said.
Did she?
I think it was something like that.
As you're kind of coming back, as you turn, you see that Stelbor has stood by the door, and it's almost like he's scanning the room.
I found something at least.
What'd you find?
This, and I present the dress and I show him the emblem of the oak tree atop the water, or the willow atop the water.
Do you know what
Would
this
I
is?
recognise? Oh, sorry.
I don't recognize it. No, do you?
No. Looks like a family coat of arms or insignia, perhaps.
Judging from the way this has been ripped, it's from the inside.
So we might have a noble girl on our hands. Great, that's just fucking great. Hands it back to you. Well, we know for sure she's been bringing her victims here.
So they are.
Would
not
I
as-
recognise the crest? Can I take a look?
Yeah. Roll me an intelligence check. Oh,
no.
okay. That is a good question, Alistair. So, in the previous session, you didn't tell them exactly what you were going off to do, but you said you had something. You had something you needed to do yourself.
Okay.
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 I mean, you're not well versed with the royal families, or not royal families, sorry, like the aristocracy or noble families of the coast, necessarily, or although those that you are aware of, this does not seem to be one. But what I will tell you is that you are fairly confident with that it does give the impression of some sort of noble insignia. Or like maybe upper middle at least.
Okay.
Would I recognise it?
You can also roll me an intelligence check.
Just straight intelligence, yeah?
Just straight intelligence, yeah.
Exactly the same.
Wow, the same roll. Aria. Studying was never your strong suit.
Nope.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
If I like jump up and look in the grate, does it go one particular direction or does it split off?
You can. So you fly up to the grate to have a little look inside. Roll me a perception check with disadvantage. It's pitch black in there.
17.
Okay. You glance in. You can see that it leads off in the direction towards this wall. But from your perspective, you see like maybe a few inches of where the direction goes, but you know that it heads, let's say, in a northwesterly direction.
Okay.
The rest of you?
Still going.
Aye.
How likely is it for a vampire close to its human dwelling?
Well, it's not. Like I said, I've not had much experience personally. Again, it does depend on variant, but I get the impression, as I'm sure I've said to you before, that this is a spawn, something new, recently transformed. That means there's maybe part of that person still there, or at least fragments of a memory.
Do you have any idea how? Well, I guess not. No. The vampirism is
No?
weird.
We have
Please
a
ask.
You said you didn't have much experience. I was wondering and hoping if there was any idea you had of how their vampirism is cured.
It's complicated, and it depends on the stage they're in, and it depends on the type. At the moment, all I know is it's perhaps recently transformed. If I can find out how long ago, I'll forget it.
No, please. Any process we can undergo reverting her disease. It would be more beneficial than just killing her.
Rather more inconvenient, though.
Do you not want to know what is afflicting people with this curse?
Surely if we just follow it, it'll lead us to the source.
We did lose it.
Then we find it.
Do the pipe? Are there any pipes in this sewer?
When you say that, do you mean as in at your level, or like the ceiling grates that lead to pipes above?
Yeah, because sorry, the vampire turned into mist and went through.
And went through a ceiling vent.
Oh, vent. Sorry, I don't know.
And then it went through a vent on the actual masonry of the ceiling and went through a pipe. It's not like an exterior vent. It's like an actual within the stone,
right, but
within the ground.
The pipe is visible.
The pipe is not visible. The vent going into the pipe is visible. You can see that,
Right.
but you can't see
right,
the pipe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then. I was going to suggest something, but it doesn't work. I say we just continue round, keep following the sewer, see where it goes.
They can't have gone too far.
Mm-mm.
Well, it did go up. It could be.
I'm not sure you can say that with much confidence. Do you know where that pipe leads to? For all we know, that pipe leads straight to the surface. And boom, it's gone.
What was that blue prince doing? He's going to get himself slaughtered.
I don't know, but it's not my responsibility. I'm just here to make sure that this vampire is at an end, no matter what that means. I'm not here to solve this city's issues.
Question. If she's a noble and she's been turned into one of... How likely is it that she's...
How likely is it that she's what?
been home to her human home recently?
There's only one way to find out.
Well, we have their insignia. I'm sure it won't take a. Maybe this is a perfect excuse to visit High Lord Theodore. He'll know of the families around here.
Is this
We'll
the
ask
leader of
around.
this city?
The direction that I saw the pipe leading off in, if I follow that with like a straight line along the ceiling in that direction, is there another vent along that line?
You have no idea. So what you're seeing is you are in a semicircular sewer, and on the ceiling where the masonry is, there is a metal grate in the ceiling. There you do not see any vents. You don't see anything of the other than the direction that vaguely where the pipe leads to. But for all you know, in the wall it turns south and heads
Yeah.
south for 3 million miles.
Yeah.
All you know is that it kind of begins to lead northwest.
I have no idea how your cisterns work. I don't understand why you don't just defecate into a hole and put sand over it.
The thing is, we've got a clue. We've at least not come away with nothing.
True.
But the longer
I say we
wander
ask around on the
here,
street.
the more people that could die.
On the streets, you
And that
think?
looks bad on me.
Let's go then.
How do you feel
Well-
about visiting Theodore? It would be, he would know about the families in this area, correct?
The trouble with visiting Theodore is that he's a very busy man and he might not be able to make time for us, and we might not even be able to get in.
I
Our
think
first
he-
port of call should be the people.
Or the archive, the library.
Or the library, yes.
Well,
If
let's
all
not
else
waste
fails,
any
we'll go to
time.
Theodore.
Go.
Yeah, let's go. Start heading back out.
Okay. So, if you are all walking together, you. What direction are you going? You're going back the way you came, or
Where we came, yeah.
kind of further on? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, makes sense too.
Okay. I'd like everyone to make me a survival check, including Stelbor.
In the jungle.
Actually, I need his sheet. 1 second. I forgot. I need his sheets.
Ooh.
In the village, the quiet village.
A vampire's kill tonight.
In the village.
Oh, I just remembered something. Okay.
What?
We'll find out if it becomes relevant later. Secrets.
Ooh, secrets. I love me some secrets.
Secrets?
Secrets.
Survival. There we go.
Alright then, keep your
Secret.
secrets.
Alright,
Say
where?
Got a
tricks and break his
secret,
neck.
can you keep it? Can you lock it in your pocket?
There we go.
In your little secret box.
Can you keep it?
Okay.
Okay. So, what have we got here? What roles do we have for me to play with today?
Oh.
Okay, a 7, a 13, a 17, a 16, a 6. Okay, and a 16. So, some of you begin to wander off in directions as you kind of get a little bit lost, but others remembering a little bit more of, the direction of the sewers. Perhaps some of you have had to traverse these places before and a little bit more used to remembering direction. You do not find yourself lost in the sewers. And with ease, you are able to find a ladder that clambers back up to the surface. So you clamber up. I'll say Stelbor goes first. He's going to clamber up the ladder, open the vent, and he will wait for Sirenscape to load again. There we go. I think.
Oh, the music goes off. I love it.
So, you find yourselves climbing up into an alleyway. You find yourself climbing up into an alleyway, which you're not sure at first where you are, and as you look out across the city, you believe yourselves to be somewhere in between Arton and the Exchange, on one of the lower levels of the city. As you climb up, what do you wish to do?
What's the
You're
weather
now in
like?
the streets. It's windy. It's not like pelting down with rain as it has before. Every so often you feel like the spitting of some rain, but it's just very windy and chilly.
Okay, I'm
Are there
gonna.
Actually,
people
because of the
around?
wind, mostly. Yeah, the streets are alive with business. It's, you know, early mid-afternoon.
I'm
My-
gonna walk up to the nearest merchant that I find and ask
Okay.
him about the crest.
You can absolutely do that. Roll me a perception check just to see how well you find one.
Okay.
Why not?
There we go. A bit low. There we go.
Okay. So, as you climb out, you see someone, because you're kind of on the edge of Arton, you see more of an artisan who is under a canvas shelter on the corner between two shops, who has numerous paintings and easels all placed under this canvas, which is mostly protected from the wind, but every so often you see one kind of beginning to topple over, and he runs over and kind of grabs it and pushes it back up. He's got this very bushy black beard, a perfect middle parting that seems almost like greased down to his head and pulled back in this very stumpy man bun, and he's a slender individual in like a white suit, without the blazer, and as you step up, he sees you. Please come and have a look at my wonderful paintings. Would you care to purchase?
What can I get for 1 silver?
My dear, these are originals. The lowest priced one is 15 gold.
In gold, goodness. Well, in that case, perhaps you could give me some information instead. I'm going to take out a silver piece. What do you know of a noble family in Deepbay has a crest of a willow resting over water?
I tell you what, buy one of my paintings and we have a deal.
Or I could just go to another merchant who would give me the information.
Well, here's the thing, young lady. You're in Deepbay, the city of business. You won't find a better deal anywhere else.
I'm sure many merchants would tell me that. I'm going to start walking away. I'm going to start turning away.
Okay, roll me a persuasion check.
I'm not biting that little fish.
Fishy.
Now, hold on. I'm sure we can reach an agreement. Like I said, we're in the city of business. How about 5 gold pieces, and I will relinquish the information.
I'm offering you 1 silver piece and you think I am going
Yes.
to pay more than 10 times that much.
Now, you will not find anyone in this city that will offer you a better deal than that. And this time I am being sincere. None
go to a
and
library.
information. You could indeed. But what a long and tedious trek that would be, hey? When you can get the information right here, right now, for convenience sake.
5 silver pieces.
3 gold.
1.
2, and I won't go a gold lower. Do we have a deal? Puts out his hand.
Fine.
Good doing business with you. He'll take the 2 gold if you offer it to him.
Yep.
do have a better description of this insignia that you were talking about?
Can I tear the insignia off the dress, or is it like sewn on?
I've got the dress. I don't know. Where?
I just don't want to show a bloody dress to a merchant.
I mean, there's blood on the emblem as well, but I mean...
Right. I'll just describe it in that case. Just a willow tree over water. I'm not sure what other description to give it other than that.
Okay. So you're just describing it based on what you
I
have
saw.
seen on the dress. Okay.
Yeah. You're sure you don't have anything that I could look at? There are a few families here in Deepbay and elsewhere that have such an insignia or something similar. The willows, at least. Many different willow families on the coast. Interesting. Storm.
Don't worry, I've got this. And I extend my paw out like this, and I spark my nails against my blade, and I make a projection of the emblem appear without blood on my hand.
It takes half a step back. Oh. Now that I think about it, yes, I do recognize that. That's the insignia of the Willowdraft family.
Willowdraft.
Willowdraft.
Willowdraft. Yeah. Good idea. Willowdraft. And what sort of family are they? Are they well known within the city?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say well known. I know of them, but they're not exactly high class.
Middle class, then.
Well, maybe. I don't really dabble in the affairs of them. They were a family of bankers, and ever since the head of the family died, then it's kind of fallen apart.
You know where they reside?
I believe they have an estate in the Rise.
Fantastic. Thank you for your information.
You are most welcome, and if you happen to be passing back through Arton, please do peruse my wonderful paintings. They are original.
What's he painted?
Excellent.
A number of scenes of Deepbay mostly, from different angles. A couple of more mountainous landscapes. They appear to be more like landscape paintings. Very Bob Ross.
I was going to say, are there any happy little trees that have friends?
There are many happy little trees.
Are there any little miniatures?
Any miniatures?
Yeah, any like little paintings?
Roll me an investigation check, I guess.
You know how sometimes like they'll do like the little mini ones. Yikes.
You look, without trying to seem interested, you glance across and try and peek around some of the other canvases, but you don't see any. The smallest one seems to be like maybe about a foot.
Right. Okay.
And like a foot square.
Shame. Shame.
God damn it! I could have got you to spend your gold on a fucking painting.
I know.
Okay. What do you wish to do?
Let's start heading to the Rye.
Yes.
Okay.
Rye or the Rise, actually?
The Rise.
The Rise.
Rise. I heard Rye.
The Rye. The Rye bread.
Yeah, I hear they have 7 Cs.
Or the Rye bourbon.
Very nice, Ewan. I got that.
Thank you. So, you're kind of near the Wayfinder's Rest, so you probably end up passing that as you head towards the rise. So after about 10 minutes of walking along the main street, as you pass by where the Wayfinder's Rest goes into that like spire that it's built on the side of, you see Alistair. You see Alistair walking towards the door. And you can pass him by if you wish.
Ignore him.
The door of what?
The door of the Wayfinder's Rest. So you are passing the Wayfinder's Rest as you head towards the rise from your position in Narton.
Alistair!
Okay. Are you ignoring him?
Roasted.
What a dick.
I'm gonna, as he ignores, I'm gonna fly overhead and give Alistair a little scruff with my talons on top of his head.
Oh, I thought you were going to poo on him.
I mean,
Yes.
I've had enough poo in the sewers.
I heard it's good
Yeah.
luck.
No, yeah, I just fly over and give you a little scruff on the head as I go over top.
Have they all just like, besides Gaiak, have they all just like walked past?
I mean, maybe. I mean, they're not saying anything.
no.
Maybe they have.
I'm walking, I'm carrying on.
Okay, Alistair just begins to walk up.
Guys, I think we have a problem. I think Alistair's gone into a coma.
I'd stop and just look over to why he's not looking at us.
Yeah, as I'm like flying around, I'm still looking at him, wondering why he's just
Oh
standing.
no, I've turned round to see it. I'm just wondering why the fuck you just clawed my head. Just like the fuck. Yes. When did I leave? Like, what was the last thing I remember with the group?
Earlier today, I believe. It would have been this morning. You left when... I forget how long it's been since you've been here. So, basically, you returned to High Lord Theodore and managed to get him to agree to the help after giving him the amulet. You returned to the Wayfinder's Rest that night, trying to decide what to do about the High Lord. The next day, you all as a group bumped into this Stelbor individual as you were heading to... No, that was the day before. You met Stelbor when you were basically going to see the High Lord, this blood hunter. And the last thing that you remember is you as a group were going to, or you, Kensei, and a few of the others were going to the inscriber again to see if they could figure out what was going on with this this coin that you had found from Oswald's room. And as you were leaving, you went off to do whatever it was that you went off to do.
Fair enough.
So it's been about, at this point, probably about 6-7 hours.
Ah, so long time no see, I guess. Where have you guys been? Or what
Oh,
have
you know, just chasing a vampire, it's fine.
I got bit. It wasn't very
Right, what
nice.
have you actually been doing then?
That
No,
is
turn
all-
away from Alistair into the rest of the group.
No, seriously, she's right. And I'll pull down my robe to show the vampire.
Oh,
Right.
shit.
I didn't realize you got that.
Yeah, it wasn't very pleasant. I still feel a bit weakened, actually.
You should be careful.
Is that not how people get turned into vampires?
That's they are kind of unsanitary, from what I've heard.
So good. Do you know the answer?
Aye. Oh, well. Like I said, Depends on the variant. We're not sure on it yet, but if it's usually when they're still in their second stage, they're usually not contagious.
Well, that's a relief. We know that we're not travelling with a vampire.
Yes, it's hard enough not being able to still be
Believe me,
my reflection.
You'd know. You'd know if he was starting to turn.
Or is it a quick process?
In a way.
Anyway, what are you guys doing now?
We've got a lead.
We're heading to the Rise. It's a noble family. We think that the vampire at hand was once a member of this noble family. Gonna go and find out.
Well, I was just going to have a drink, but this sounds way more fun, so I guess I'll join you.
Fun times.
Yes, I'm surprised none of you actually died if you were in fact fighting vampires. I'm surprised.
We were accompanied by this very strange man. I don't know.
Right, should we head to the Rise then?
Let's go.
No, seriously, we were.
So, you having found Alistair and regrouped, you return to the main street and continue your journey towards the Rise, passing through the now mid-afternoon business of the streets. Eventually, you arrive at the gates to the Rise, and the guards there, having recognised you now, allow you to pass through. You are now kind of in this much more high-class space of a market. You can see the castle now to your left from your entrance, as you have been several times before, and the like spires and plateaus and stacks that make up the peak of the city, the Rise, where various manors and estates seem to be clutching to either the sides or sat atop the peaks of these stacks, eroded by years of wind and rain. What do you wish to do? Unsure on which one necessarily it is.
Is there anybody walking by?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of business going on.
Wait,
You can try and search around to find out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask for directions to the Willowdraft residence.
Okay. So you walk up to someone, and they do give you an idea of where to go. They direct you slightly further north, and then up a stack that leads up to this kind of like elongated space, and you follow that direction, and eventually you find yourself winding up this very precarious pathway, following the stack around. It takes some time to climb because you are going around a fairly long exterior, and you notice immediately how different this space is to the rest of the city, which is much more condensed and things crammed together. Here, even though there is still little space, things are not as crammed together. You are journeying around places where plenty of other buildings could reside but do not.
Right.
Finally, though, you come to the precipice of the plateau itself and crest over to see several estates in different parts, partially concealed by what you take to be artificially planted grass and foliage and trees, and following the directions, you find yourself heading towards this large, almost a Gothic-like building. There are like almost these Gothic black brick spires that lead out from this main manor building into the sky. You see a large round window on the top of what you take to be maybe like a 4-level building. There isn't much in the way of foliage. You do see an iron fence that connects two stacks on either side of the building, these rock formations that almost act as a wall, a natural wall to the manor itself. And as you approach the gates, you see the symbol that you found on the dress on the actual gate itself proper, and you can see 2 guards. They do not dress in the City Watch attire. Immediately you take them to be likely personal guards or personal mercenary hire, and a courtyard with a fountain that appears to not be on, that leads up to the front of this Gothic estate.
Well, this is very fitting.
Do we want to acknowledge that maybe a lady or a daughter within this household is in trouble?
You cut out.
See that she's just been past month is the case, then does that mean they think?
Well, it's entirely possible that they could be inflicted with it too, but
No, I mean, as in, they have no awareness of her being a vampire. They think that she's missing.
or they're missing. The artist did say that they are in a little bit of disarray right now.
Understandably, if one of their family members has gone missing. I say we report that we found this dress and that we might have some information that would be useful to them.
I agree.
Would be good to understand where and who she'd been frequenting before they last saw her.
Yes, agreed. I'm just going to approach one of the guards and ask if the lord or lady of this residence is currently at home.
Okay, you approach. They seem fairly well armoured. You see both of them have long swords on their back and they wear half plate. One of them addresses you as you approach and ask. And who exactly is asking?
We have found something that has led us here, and I kind of gesture to Storm to like show the sigil on the dress. And say we believe that this might have belonged to somebody who once lived here. They might be missing.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh shit.
Oh, damn it. Oh my god, Astrid rolled a single number.
Yeah.
Okay. He looks across at the other guard and back at you. What are you really here for?
Well, it's true.
Look, if you've got some unpaid debts from the lady of the house, you can go through the proper stations
There is nobody from House Willowdraft that is missing right now.
And it squints at you. Why would you ask?
Like we said, we think we have found something has preyed on someone of House Willowdraft. We wish to bring information on our findings.
I'll have to talk with the lady herself.
Is it
You'll
just the-
wait here.
Is it just the lady that lives here?
I'm sorry.
Is it just the lady that lives here?
Do you even know whose estate you've walked up to?
Absolutely none. I told you we found her crest.
All we know is this estate is owned by bankers. Yes.
I'm terribly sorry, but you have found something and you're coming straight to here rather than to the city watch.
Well, we are actually with the City Watch, kind of just to Stelbor. We've been investigating a series of missing persons and murders in the city, and we were just wondering if anybody had heard anything from this person.
He glances over towards Stelbor, who's just like almost emotionless, just looks straight at him. I don't believe a word you're saying, but it's not up to me. Wait here. Keep an eye on him. And he... They are both situated on the other side of the gates, by the way. So you're effectively talking to them through the fence. And you watch him walk up towards the house. The other guard kind of awkwardly stood there, arms folded, just looking you up and down. Okay. Just looks you up and down. The other guard disappears for about 10 minutes before he begins to return, walking with an uncomfortable purpose as he comes to the front of the gate. Alright. Apparently we're to let them in. Take a key out, unlock the gate, and the gates part, and you are led into the interior of the courtyard if you wish to follow.
That's good.
I do.
Okay. So, the guards begin to lead you through the courtyard towards the front of the house, where they open the door again, and you step into a mostly empty foyer space with a curving staircase that leads up to a second floor balcony. Family paintings hang from the walls, depicting a group of importance. There's a sense of sadness that you can just feel lingering within the space, like a dying home keeping up appearances of happiness and wealth. There's tiled black and white flooring, textured stone and marble walls that reach up to this peaked ceiling, with like a glass roof. or like ceiling windows along a portion of the foyer space. The guards lead you in and close the door behind you as you're stood in the emptiness, the echoing emptiness of this space, every footstep reverberating around the room. Wait here. He has a look of not necessarily confusion, but questioning across his face as he begins to walk to a side door. Passes through. A few moments pass, and the door opens again, and you see a woman in a long red and black dress that steps out. The years have taken a toll on this woman. She has thinning grey hair, which suggests someone of elderly years, but the other features of her face indicate a woman maybe in her early 40s as she steps forward to greet you. I was told that you had some information.
Yes,
Is that correct?
we do. We believe and fear that somebody of this house has fallen victim to a creature. And I pull out the dress with the emblem on.
I see. Perhaps this is something we could discuss in a slightly more private environment.
Of course.
She looks to the guards that stood in the room, gives a nod. They give you a final glance before disappearing into separate doors. Or actually, they head back outside towards the front gate, and this this distressed-looking woman begins to lead you to another chamber. You see an assortment of sofas and chairs around a thinning fireplace. It is not particularly elaborate, especially for the building that you've seen. You're expecting a more extravagant interior, but it is very underfurnished. And she leads you over to these seats. Please take a seat.
Seat.
I'm going to sit next to... I'm going to make sure to position myself next to...
Next to Stubble.
Let me sit down.
Okay. Stubble does not set his stands.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, you can sit next to where he's standing.
I will... Either one. I will stand still, whatever.
Okay. This better not be a ruse.
No ruse. We are here with pure intentions. We only wish to aid you and hopefully find out more about the situation we are investigating. Pull out the dress with the emblem. Do you recognize this?
Where did you find that?
In the sewers of Deepbay. We fear whoever possessed it has been inflicted with a curse or disease.
You're certain that you found it in the sewers?
Storm just nods.
Who are you?
We are
I asked who you are.
working with the City Watch to investigate a string of murders.
I'm sorry I can't help you.
Really? So
If you would kindly leave my home.
In fact,
It's not what I thought it was.
Inside check.
Sure, roll me an insight check.
oh, she knows. I think she's protecting. Jeez.
Gaik,
Poo-poo
you're
in
bad
my
at reading
feathers.
people.
It's getting to me.
Kense, her initial reaction when seeing the dress was enough to really seal the deal for you that she knows more than she's letting on. You clearly think she's trying to hide something. She looks agitated, especially when you mentioned about a string of murders.
My lady, if I may be so bold, whoever this is connected to your house. They may be, as the stress alludes.
It must have. It must have fallen.
My lady, this is
Sewer network.
this is the dress of one of the highs. It did not fall, and it did not just end up in the sewer.
Whoever this was to you, and if you held them dearly, I'm sure you do not wish the same fate upon them as you do others, upon others as you did them.
I'd like you to leave my home.
Whoa, I've just come back. What happened?
We showed her the dress and mentioned that we were investigating some.
And she didn't want anything to do with us.
She's protecting her.
You're making a mistake. We intend to help. Any information you can give us will speed up this process.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Just out of curiosity, I don't know if I'd be able to tell. When we told her about the murders, was it a reaction? She's scared, or is it a reaction of like, how do I put it? Pained, as in like she distraught.
It was more akin to the best you could read it is maybe guilt.
Okay.
Yeah, she
Yeah, she knows.
And,
That's where, yeah.
and
protected us.
fear, perhaps. Yeah.
To add on to that, I'll say this particular disease we intend to try and rid this person of it, not just eliminate them.
She is sunk into her chair right now. Stowboy, who has been fairly silent in this moment, arms folded, just watching her reading. Look, we know what we know. It's better for everyone if we all just speak truthfully. What do you wish to do?
won't be leaving until.
My lady, I can gather from your countenance and reaction to inquiries that this is a source of some stress for you, perhaps before we even brought it up. And as she's in the chair, I'll kind of just like kneel down in front of her. I swear to you that if there is a way I can help this person, whoever they are, if this is what you want, I will do whatever it is in my power to.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh boy. Come on. 16?
Okay. I'm not sure exactly what you could do.
I
Might be
won't
able to
know.
help her.
My friend here, and I'll gesture towards Stelgar, is quite the expert on these matters. If we can help, we will try. But we can't do anything without any information. The chance of help is the better than the certain.
I understand. What do you want to know?
Who is it that's missing?
My daughter, Christine.
How long has she been missing?
It's not really a case of missing.
She comes and goes then.
No, but I know that
You know where she is.
I just wouldn't call it missing.
You know where she is.
No, but like I said, I wouldn't call it missing.
Please elaborate.
I might not know where she is or where she went, but I know what happened to her and how I failed her.
Please, any information you can provide us with about your daughter's movements beforehand could really help us in.
She didn't have any movements. My daughter, Christine, has been sick from birth. She is bedridden. We took her to the Briganta pools, had private doctors, and no one could help, and she spent almost her entire life in bed. She didn't have a life, she didn't go anywhere, she didn't meet anyone.
What kind of bedridden? Like, but she was not demonstrating monstrous abilities.
No, that was not my daughter. My daughter was nothing like that. She was sweet, she was creative, she was beautiful.
Who was her doctor?
Well, for Sanatino, she had many from private doctors that I'd contacted through the city. But her last one, you've got to understand that over the last 2 years her condition had worsened, and I didn't want to lose my daughter, so I...
Desperate times called for desperate measures, I guess.
I made a deal with High Lord Theodore.
What kind of deal?
Well, I would take care of a few accounts, and in exchange, he put me in touch with some sort of unusual doctor, someone who did weird and strange remedies to things. I mean, I didn't have anything to lose, I thought. Then, over the course of about a year, he would give my daughter strange remedies, strange elixirs to try and help, and for a time she improved. I thought that she was improving, she could walk. And then, suddenly, about a few months ago, he made his last visit.
Is that when it happened?
God, she was screaming in pain, crying. Out of nowhere, she was throwing his servants around even bit half of one's face. Someone managed to subdue her. I didn't know what to do, so I locked her in the room. We barred her windows, and a few nights later, she escaped.
You're right. That wasn't your daughter. From our small understanding of the situation, we only mean to prevent this from happening to anyone else. So if any information you can give about this doctor that was visiting would be of great help.
What was his name?
He called himself Sanatio.
I'd be interested to know as well what sort of accounts Theodore had you look over.
Nothing strange or nefarious. I was just in charge of some of the finances. I was never as good at it as my husband.
When your daughter was bedridden, did you tell her any stories or talk about places in the city that, if she wasn't bedridden, you would like to show her?
I'd love to have taken her to the Temple of the Granite King. We did take her to her father's crypt every 10 day. It was the one place we couldn't refuse her.
Where
If
is the crypt?
It's not too far away. You could probably see it from the top of the spire.
Don't mind me asking. What happened to your husband?
I would rather not talk about that.
That's fine. My condolences.
This Salatino, is he still within the city?
I have no idea. After what happened to Christine, I searched for him. I hired investigators to find him, and he had disappeared. I don't even know what he looks like. He always wore a mask, like one of those doctor masks, I guess. But he had a Vietnamese accent.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh, he's having a revelation.
Yes.
No, yeah.
Who the fuck wore plague masks in?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Mhm.
Storm's eyes widen, and he said that in his head.
That's Ryan with Theodore.
Technically, those plague doctor masks were actually big raven ones, not the same ones.
Oh.
I thought when you mean
As you see, like that. I mean that you've seen during your travels, I would assume, people with like street doctors with those masks on. Not those ones from Ravenwood. They were something very specific.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, we collected a big dot there.
Did you ever talk to this San Antino doctor at all?
Just about how my daughter's condition is progressing. He would ask me questions, whether she was in less pain. I had seen any mood swings or changes.
So no clues of where he came from or where he was getting his stuff from at all?
If I knew that, I would not be having to answer you these questions.
How did
No,
you?
only one
How did-
person knows. Have you not asked him?
Say that again.
Have you not asked the person that put you in contact with this doctor, Theodore?
I have.
What was his response?
That they came from a reputable source. I cannot fault him. He put me in contact with someone who could have saved my daughter's life, and I can't assume that he knew any more than I did.
No, of course not. It was very admirable of him to do this. Just wondered if he could have given you any more information.
Do you really think you can help her?
And it turns to Spellborg. I think we know. If we know is more about her condition, then yes, I think we may.
It's too late to say. Too early to say. Sorry. I'd like to see your room if that's alright. See if we can't find any clues from it. Of course, please follow me, I'll show you there. And she begins to kind of stand up from her chair. She definitely seems weak and like she has just like released a lot of trauma, and almost shaking and very slow she heads towards the door that you had entered through and begins to lead you up the staircase, assuming you follow.
E.
Okay. You're led to the 3rd floor, and down a long hallway towards a back room. The door is barred over, and as she approaches, she gets a few of the personal guard in the house to begin to like crowbar the metal off, and it takes a few minutes. It takes about 15 minutes to be precise, but eventually the door is unlocked and opened. As you look inside, you see a room that looks like less of a young woman's room and more like a hospital ward. Vials, jars and bottles sit on wheeling tables. Strange medical apparatus with wires and tubes dangle around the 4-poster bed. The rest of the furnishings are in ruins. Smashed wood, shattered glass and broken masonry scatter the floor. Odd odours of blood and chemicals come from dried stains on, of both of which have long since absorbed into the carpets and plank flooring. Torn curtains flap gently out the window. This is it. I'd rather not step in. I'll stay out here if that's alright.
Somebody stay out with her.
I don't think I'll be much use in here. I will. The lady.
Stubble will step directly into the room. Look around. Impressive.
I would like to look around the room and see if I can find any like symbols or like emblems that aren't of the house, like on the jars, on pieces of paper that might be ripped.
Okay.
Clothing and stuff like that.
Roll me an investigation check.
Alright. How she wants to load.
What about the rest of you? Are you doing anything in this room?
I want to have a look for anything that may have been left by this doctor, whether it's like vials that might have had medication or liquids in them, any paper left behind, anything like that.
Okay, roll me an investigation check as well, please. Alistair, as you look around the room, going over to the desks, there don't seem to be many pieces of paper on here. You do find a few, some of which have been like stained and bleached by chemicals that have been shattered across them. You see scribblings and markings kind of dotted in between things like Val-Aeria's, Trader's Tongue. But as you're looking over it, it seems maybe to be written in some kind of code. It's hard to really discern what it really says. As for other symbols or emblems, you don't pick up anything that you don't expect. The emblem of the house is on the torn and ripped bed sheets that are kind of flung across the floor and stained in blood. But that's about it. Gaiac, you do see vials on this on several desks and one near the table itself, and as you approach and look at them, a lot of them are dried out, some with a little bit of liquid in, but you don't know a lot about this kind of side of anything. as far as you can tell, they are like glass vials and beakers and bottles with liquids, and then apparatus around them that you have no idea what it means.
Just because, why not? I'm gonna pick up the one closer to the bed and give it a little sniff.
Okay. Roll me a perception check. Using your sense of smell.
Wow.
As soon as you breathe, as soon as you put it to your nose and try to inhale, there's this sharp stinging in your nostril. You don't get what the smell is, but it is something pungent and it just stings. And fuck, your sense of smell is a little bit fucked for the time being.
You just hear Gaiak across the room just and just starts like flailing around a little bit, holding this vial.
Whoa, what's up? What's up?
While trying to like catch my breath, I just pass the vial to Val-Aeria.
Did you smell this? Did you just stick your nose in anything?
Still trying to catch my breath. I just nod.
Literally sticking in his nose and things.
Are you stupid? Did you seen what happened to that young woman? And you're gonna stick your nose into things and smell things. You're gonna drink it as well.
Alistrine's trying to hold back laughter. She's just there
Did he just sniff
in
it?
trouble.
Yeah.
As I catch my breath, I'm gonna look up at him and say, "Are you just going to stick your nose in anything? Did you not see what happened to that young woman?"
Our blood can't be tainted.
And this man, did you not remember what he said? He said he's been drinking elixirs since he was
No, I'm immune.
Yeah,
We'll
Gaiak,
We'll see.
dumb bitch.
I'm gonna check the window for any like.
He's gonna go up to where he saw those potions and kind of have a little look at them. Storm, you're going up to the window.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to the window.
Okay. Have a little look at the window.
Oh, well, you got a smile on your face. I like that.
I don't know, I just like smiling.
Yeah. I'm
What do you,
checking for any forced entry. I might whack on see invisibility as well.
okay.
Looking for any kind of any signs of anything in the room as well as the window of forced entry / aggressive exits. Something of the sorts. What is it? Perception or investigation?
Roll me an investigation. And you're looking for. You are using see invisibility, right?
I am. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And you're up at the windows.
Yep.
Okay. See what we get.
Investigation. Yeah.
Yeah, investigation.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
Just the cut off scream.
Okay. Well, you go up to the window and begin to look around. You pull back the curtains, and behind which you can see the fragmented window. Metal bars, which once were used to block an escape clearly, have been bent by inhuman strength. You see almost like talon marks in the wood and the masonry of the walls by the window. It looks like something was like gripping in and tearing away or scraping at the window.
Well, that's plain as day to see.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
Who's our companion friend? What's our companion friend called again?
At Stelbor.
Zelda. I go over to him and pass him the notes with like the code on it. I just go, does this mean anything to you at all?
I recognise the languages, but no. Looks like the scrawlings of a madman. Why? Does it mean anything to you? Hands it back.
No, I just thought It'd be useful to get inside his head, see what he's trying to understand him.
Well, I can't discern anything from it, unfortunately. I'm not a code breaker, if it is indeed a code. He kind of glances over to the rest of the group. Aria, what are you doing?
Do a couple of things. First of all, Eldritch Sight. I'm going to do Detect Magic.
Okay. Gotta remember how that works every goddamn time.
It's not like the invisibility. So
It's not.
So
Not that that necessarily matters.
No.
It's just like I need to check. Yeah, that's fine. Well, as you Eldritch Sight, sorry, chat just blocked all your cameras off.
the upgraded version.
When you want some alone time.
Okay, just checking something. You do not see anything.
Cool. Secondly, I'm going to do my thing and look for secret compartments, letters or anything tucked underneath the bed, anything behind paintings, and then I would like to look at the notes.
Okay. So you take some time to look at the floorboards, moving some of the sheets away and trying to see if there's any secret compartments or anything like that. Roll me an investigation check.
24.
Okay. Glancing around the room, you don't feel anything that gives way or indicates that there's a secret space anywhere in the room or any compartments on any of the desks or drawers. Everything seems above board.
Okay. And then I'll have a look at those notes that Alistair found, see what I could discern from them.
Make an investigation check. Okay. You've got more experience at codes and code breaking, and you speak both the languages. So as you're reading through it, at first it does seem like a jumbled mess of words, but as you pick something up, oh, there's a word misspelt there, and then a slightly different implied meaning here, and you begin to look it over. It'll take you, I'll say it take you about 10 minutes to go over the whole thing, and maybe like even have to write it out on a separate piece of paper, but you eventually, it appears to be a variety of different formula and combinations of chemicals and applications that some of these, even though you've broken the code, some of these you have no idea what they are. But then you see other things like various types of bleach and alcohol, and some like fungus or other types of herbs, all of which are either fairly rare, some of which you recognise as being poisonous.
Okay. Wave Stelbor over, and I translate all of this and kind of ask if he recognises or what this could possibly be about, like a recipe for something.
That poor lass. Seems our doctor was doing a bit of experimenting. So notice how they're all different formulas. That indicates different tries, different attempts. But for what?
So this is not a natural transgression of the disease.
It doesn't look like it, but look, in every single one of these, there's something missing. I'm sure you noticed it. There's an ingredient missing. I wonder what that would be. He heads back over to where the vials are. Do you mind? And he asks if he can take the sheet that you
Please.
you transcribed. Begins to like smell some of the chemicals and then puts them almost in like groups together. As he's doing this, and as obviously you are transcribing before, Alistrine, is there anything you wish to do?
I am a little bewildered by all of this. This is creepy shit. I think I'm just gonna just have a look around, see if like do like a check over, see if anybody's missed anything.
Okay, absolutely, you can do that. Roll me an investigation check.
Just a sec. We have this at least once a session.
Wouldn't be a session otherwise.
It wouldn't be a session otherwise.
It wouldn't be a session without the awkward pause of, yeah, just wait a second. Sorry, go on. Well,
Oof.
I'm not gonna find anything that anybody else has missed. Fresh.
Okay. Yeah, you look around. Everyone seems to be very much so in their element, finding things and gathering information, and you are very creeped out by this situation. You're not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
And so you're hesitant to get yourself directly involved.
Question.
Yes. Answer.
Can I cast Detect Good and Evil?
You absolutely can.
I do so. It's
Okay. So, as you cast that spell, I'm gonna say that you get a vague, like, it's not like, so obviously you get to tell if things are undead, fiend, aberration, or celestial, correct?
Yeah.
I think it's just those. But I think for flavour wise, there are certain things that you would definitely Fey as well, I didn't know that. Or elemental, fair enough. There are certain things that you, for flavour wise, you would also pick up, though they might still be humanoid. For example, Aeria has a very subtle, like, red glow we'll say, like, from her, probably from her left arm. There's this very subtle red glow, that, like an aura of almost red that you kind of take to be fiendish.
Alistrine is just covered.
Which is not surprising.
just her left arm.
I think it is just your left arm, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And from Stelbor, that from his eyes, there is a faint aspect of perhaps aberration. Something warped and changed from this like purpley aura that kind of emanates from his eyes. But other than that, you do not detect.
Oh.
Oh.
Do you know what? For the flavour, you detect a black aura coming from a set of test tubes on one end of the room. It's just sat on one of the desks.
Black.
And as you look over, it's kind of emanating this black aura. It's very, very subtle. But the interior of this test tube is almost like this caked black liquid, like tar, that's like dried and caked on the inside.
I will go over to it and see if there's...
Undead, yeah.
Can I tell which aura it is? Is it undead? So.
Sorry, yeah, I thought I'd said that. Yeah, so just for the flavor wise, it's kind of this black aura, but you take that to mean undead.
Huh. I might have found something. Turn back to the group and be like, well, you cast Detect Good and Evil, and I'm getting a strong sense of undead from these. And I show them the test tubes.
Are those the ones that Gaia stuck up his snout?
It's not.
No, thankfully not.
Thankfully, no.
What's his name?
Stelbor.
Stelbor.
I mean, Stelbor was very interested. Is walking right up to you.
Do you know what this is? Is it like blood, body parts, decay?
You said you got like
Undead.
an aura or something.
Undead aura.
Then I'm getting a feeling I might know what that is.
What?
Please tell.
Vampire blood. Cursed.
That's the missing ingredient.
Would seem so.
Fuck.
But the question is whose?
Shit, yeah.
I think you should tell your friend to perhaps take the mother away.
Sensei?
Hmm?
Would you mind escorting the mother downstairs?
Why? What have you found?
It's just for investigation purposes. Don't worry. It'll be
Roll me a deception check.
deception. Okay.
I mean, technically it's through investigation, but
Once it loads.
I mean, it's technically
It's not one-
true, but I
it's not one
guess
she like.
it's the intention. Oh, plot thickens. The plot thickens.
Deception, yeah.
But I loved it.
Deception, yeah.
Deception. Yes, correct.
Hey!
21.
Very well, but I'd like to know what you find.
Ooh, I'm sorry. No.
I'll
Getting
score
tortured
that.
out earshot.
Okay, she will follow your direction, and soon she is away from the door.
I will be keeping my eyes around the room with my sea invisibility, by the way.
Okay, you look around and you see a glowing ball of light in the middle of the room.
Fuck's sake! I knew this would happen. Ian, what? Ah!
You say that?
Why did I thought.
Don't acknowledge it.
I'm not gonna acknowledge it. I'm not gonna look at it. I'm gonna my eyes will glance by it,
Mm-hmm.
and I will not say anything out loud.
Roll me. I want you to roll me a deception check or a performance check. This is to see how well, because you are not expecting this. So this is you playing off.
Oh my fucking god! I knew it. I knew it.
Channel your stoicism. Don't react.
Channel.
Orbs of light.
Where is it? Deception.
Fucking balls of light.
Suck my balls of light.
Go.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Oh no.
Double digits.
You believe you're being. I believe. You believe that you are being. You pass it off, when in reality you look across.
To be fair though, that's probably something storms naturally do.
The moment you kind of glance your eyes past it, disappears.
Say.
Right there, Storm.
We're being watched.
Oh. That's
Wonderful.
that's
Pretty
pretty
guess as to who it
by
is.
now.
Yes, I think it's becoming increasingly obvious.
At this point, you see that Stelbor is now like crouched onto the ground on the floor, and he is like taking the end of a very thin blade and scraping the caked black out of the test tube and like smears it onto the floor, and you watch him then take his the knife and slice it across his hand, and he begins to draw runes on the floor.
Do I recognize the runes?
Roll me an Arcana check. Some of them you recognize as what you've seen from, like, are you?
You wouldn't have met. You're gonna.
From it's one that you haven't got, but I mean you recognize it. Maybe you've seen people cast Identify in the past. Some of them are similar, but they're not the same. There are others that are strange and unique, and you've never seen these runes before. So it looks like it's some kind of variation of some kind of Identify ritual. And you see him kind of then sit down and mutter under his breath, and the runes light up red over time. It's going to take about 11 minutes to do this. So if there's anything the rest of you wish to do whilst he's undergoing this ritual of his, what would you like to do?
The window. Did you say the window's smashed?
Yeah, so the window, when Storm drew the curtains across, the window, the glass of the window was like shattered beyond belief, and the metal bars on the outside that had been haphazardly put on have been bent. Like someone grabbed the bars and went.
Is the hole big enough for like me to get through?
It's enough for a humanoid to get through. Yeah, maybe not with your wings out fully, but you could definitely climb out the. Climb out the space?
Could I do that? Yeah, have a little look out there for if there's any obvious direction that, like any markings outside to show a direction or just anything outside of the window.
Sure. You climb out. Are you like moving out so you can fly outside the window?
Yeah. So I'll kind of clamber out, but then I'll.
Sure. Roll me a perception check as you kind of glance, because it's hard to really get up and investigate the nooks and crannies if you're kind of looking at the whole area. Okay. You fly out. You can immediately see there's like a dripping of blood on the exterior of the window down the black of the wall. At first it's hard to really stand out because you know the masonry is dark stone, but you begin to make out this kind of trickling pattern. At the bottom you can see what appears to be like a bush or shrubbery that has been kind of crushed in on one side, like something heavy hit it. And as you fly down to investigate, you can see smearing of dried crimson on the leaves of the shrubs there. Looks like something that might have been missed, but as you glance around to the exterior, if there was anything here, it's been cleaned up on the outside, which is not unexpected.
It's also been raining as well, I guess.
Yes.
I'll fly back up and clamber back in through the window.
Okay.
Nothing unexpected.
Okay. As you climb back in. Oh, sorry, go.
The vampire blood. I'm guessing it's being put into her.
That is a possible
If
answer.
it is, could I just locate objects on vampire blood that may or may not be in her system?
Once it becomes part of a creature, it's not
Fair
really
enough.
an object anymore.
Fair enough.
I see what you're going for. You're trying to locate her through the blood.
Yeah.
Clever, but unfortunately,
if
it becomes part of her.
Find out if she was holding anything specific that we might know. Use that as well.
That's a good question for me to ponder in the future. Like, if you eat a key, is it technically part of your body then, or? Whereas if you're holding it, because if you're holding an item, I think it still counts as it being there. But we'll come to that bridge if we ever have to fucking cross it. Remind me to never have an NPC or creature eat something of yours.
Need to hide this key. Quick.
Anyway, at this point, the ritual kind of blares up for just a second, and there's a bright red light that flares away very quickly, and the runes on the ground have like tarnished to black ash on the on the wood where it's singed into the floorboards, and the kind of congealed blood in the centre still exists. Hi. Is vampire blood alright?
Is there anything else from it?
There's not much more one could discern. Not with limitations.
So it doesn't.
It's been caked up for some time. That's about as much as I can tell.
As well as I was going
Several
to ask,
months at least.
How old was it?
Ah, well, I could tell you that without even touching the thing. It's several months at least.
You keep saying this, several months.
Well, that's what the mother said, right? The last visit was a few months ago.
It's when the attack started as well. It all does make sense. What I'm more concerned about is who is watching us. There's really two people that could have been watching us.
I need to think for a moment. He just turns, doesn't wait for any kind of answer. He just walks up to the window and kind of rests his arms on it and just looking out. You can see clearly that he is in some kind of deep thought.
I'm going to turn to the group. Do you think it's plausible that Sindri would want to watch us?
Well, we did break into his house, so actually,
I'd prefer it to be Sindri.
Who else would it be?
Theodore.
Someone we suspect as being a powerful fiend.
oh, this is definitely more fun than drinking.
They certainly do have access to this type of magic. So, if this is what Theodore was, then there's no surprise he'd be watching us.
Now he knows that we know that he sent a doctor here, and what was it? Reputable.
From a reputable source.
Yes, reputable source. Ah.
At this point, Stelbor kind of leans back, scratches his head and turns and walks back to you. Are you sure you want to try and save this creature?
It
Why?
would be the preferred option, but we understand.
You know what happens if we fail?
What happens?
They'll continue to go on and kill and kill and kill.
Well, this is an interesting thing you said earlier, that the problems of this city were not yours, but I thought you were contracted to eliminate all processes of this creature. Does that not by extension mean whatever created it?
No. I was hired to investigate and prevent the murders in this town.
By the city, yes? Someone within this city.
Aye. I'm not a personal investigator. If someone's going around making these things, it ain't my job. Not unless they pay me well.
Did you even tell us who is paying you?
Yes.
Aye, the city.
But an individual. You don't know any names? Anyone who within this city?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
I'm asking.
I'm paid by the institution.
The Unhallowed.
No. Like the law of the town. I don't really care for the governments or whatever however you decide to govern yourselves here, but clearly all these little pieces of your systems are all separated and governed by different people. So I'm getting paid by the one, or the law. I don't talk to this High Lord that you've been talking about.
Well, if it does come down to it, maybe killing her is the way to save her. She seems like she's in an immense amount of pain.
So from your knowledge, you said at certain stages they were irreversible. You think this is the case we have here?
There might be a way. Might. And it's dangerous.
You know a lot.
I'm not sure you'll be up for it.
We wouldn't know if you don't tell us.
Well, the first thing we'd have to do would be to find and subdue her. Likely with a stake through the heart. Or paralyze her. Then we would need to conduct a blood ritual. And
The blood ritual.
this is... Aye. And this is where it would be complicated. You see, someone else would have to offer their body up as a vessel. The blood is, without going into too much detail, I'm sure you wouldn't understand, the blood is swapped between the two, effectively curing this Castine. It drain the cursed blood from her body and replace it with pure blood. For the other person, they'd begin to transform into a vampire, which happens rapidly. And then, the only way to cure a stage 1 would be to kill them. If they're killed and revived from death at the early stage, just as the curse begins to take effect, then the curse ends. They'll be revived as normal. This is the only way to save her.
Luckily,
Beyond stage 1, where she can be killed and revived.
Absolutely not.
Does the vessel have to have a beating heart?
Aye, it has to be a live person, and they have to be willing. If we wait too long, she'll reach the third, where the true vampire abilities will emerge. Then the city will have a problem. So we have to make a decision. She's been in this way for months. She could have days left. Weeks, maybe? Or hours.
I can revive people.
Absolutely not. No. It's way too dangerous. And there's no guarantee that you will revive someone. We don't know this girl. We don't know her. Why are we risking one of us?
Why are we risking our lives for faraway cities and towns that we have nothing to do with as well?
Because it benefits everyone in the long run.
What's the difference?
If we kill her, that benefits everyone in the long run too.
If we kill her, we may lose one of the only pieces and leads we have. She may know more than we'll ever find out on our own.
At the expense of someone else's life.
Has to be somebody willing.
So it would have to be one of us.
Probably.
Was that?
I said probably it's going to be one of us.
Well, so long as none of you have any Orcish or Goliath ancestry, you should be fine.
What does that mean?
Different type of blood. It'll kill her.
Different type of blood.
Kills her.
So they have to be human to do this?
No.
Just not hill tribe, I guess.
Aye.
There
The
is.
goblinoids and the orc and the Goliaths have a very specific blood ancestry. Though if any of you are not human, or some of you appear to be, points to you, Arya, points to you, Alistair.
Oh.
You would have the most chance, but human blood is not too different from others.
Perhaps a person.
As long as you're warm-blooded.
A person who would do anything to see their daughter again.
That is what I was going to suggest, but I...
It's too cruel.
Exactly.
It's very cruel. It's insanely cruel. But the other option is one of us.
The other option is that we kill the monster.
To bring someone back to life, you
I'm
need
quite happy to kill
someone,
them.
you need someone there who has a connection with them. They can give up a meaningful offering and bring them back to life. That's how it works. So
Though it wouldn't work with the mother anyway.
Unless any of you have secret feelings for her, then no.
But you say they have to have a connection for it to work.
The way it works is like with Gaiak, when we brought him back.
Right.
Yes, it's like that.
But Stelbor, you said that they would revive anyway. Oh, they can be revived anyway.
They can be revived.
Aye.
Not that they just would automatically revive. Okay.
If the
I misunderstood.
in the stage 1 of the variant I'm suspecting this is, then the curse can be ended by killing the person infected. If they're revived, the curse will have ended. But of course, for most folk that's not an option. And I assumed it would not be for you. It seems you have hidden talents that I didn't understand or know about.
No one is risking their lives.
No, hold on. It would cost us a lot. One of those pretty diamonds Alistair has, but we could bring her back. I don't mind chipping in. It would be well worth.
What are the benefits of not killing her?
Nothing.
Information.
Big information, and
She might have nothing.
we still have to kill her to revive her. So,
I can think of one. A child gets to live their life.
when a man.
I find it very interesting. I wasn't going to say anything, but one of the first things you came to me about was that I was a monster, and the first thing that comes to your mind when I offer you a suggestion of helping someone is how their life would benefit yours. Hey, I'm not going to judge, but at least wear it on your sleeves.
If we could find someone else to revive them, I would happily offer myself up, but we'll need to find someone else who can do the...
And in the boys' way, where Homelander points at everyone, he turns to Alistair and points at you. Not you. You're doing great.
Hold star. Do you know if anyone in the church would have resurrection powers? I do follow the same faith, so they might be able to help.
Are you asking Stelbo?
Sort of generally Selbor/DM.
Okay.
So I have
well, first of all,
I have the acolyte feat, so if I've
yeah.
You know.
So first of all, maybe they would have to. They'd likely be much higher rank. Secondly, there's obviously the item requires like a price. And third, revivify has to be done within a minute. You'd have to die at the place where you were going to get revived.
Yeah.
There's no point us discussing it without one of our party members.
I
So
agree.
he's pretty keen on saving her. I'm pretty sure he has something to say about it.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I wish I hadn't. Looks like you need to discuss this with your friend. I think we found all we can here. Just walks out the room. We're going to take our break there. And welcome back. Where we left off, you had come to the Willowdraft Manor, searching for answers to this vampiric creature whose dress you found inside the sewers. And upon investigation, you found out that the vampire was the deformed version of Christine Willowdraft, a young girl that resided at the estate, and in searching her room uncovered that some sort of strange doctor called Sanatino had been conducting experiments on her, including giving her vampiric blood. Before we left off, Stelbor had informed you of a potential way of saving her, bringing her back to a more human form, but in doing so would likely sacrifice someone's life who could be revived, but there is a risk and a cost. You had discussed this, and Stelbor informed you that you would probably need to talk to your other companion about this, and began to leave the bedchamber, heading back down towards where you had met previously with this woman. So for those of you in the room, what do you wish to do?
Alistair.
Is Kensei back?
I think I'm still with Lady Willowdraft.
Yeah, so Kensei is currently downstairs in that original waiting room, or that like living space, which Stelbor is now heading down towards.
Alistair, I've been meaning to ask you something, actually. The spell that you used to revive me, say a similar thing happened again in the future, due to the fact that I have already been revived once before, would the chances of it working again be different?
You're muted, I think. Still muted.
The look on your face.
Yes. Tampering with the line between life and death is a very risky and dangerous thing to do. So, in short, yes, it would be a lot harder to bring you back to life if you were to die again.
I see.
Ellie made it back the first time. I wouldn't want to risk you again.
I see. I'm gonna start following Stelbor out of the room.
Yeah, I'm gonna move out of the room towards the door.
Okay. Eventually you find yourself heading down as a group back towards that main living room. The mother appears to be back in the seat, kind of slumped down, not really in much conversation. Kensei nearby. Stelbor has recently stepped through the room, as you all enter. What did you find?
Yes. Well, what did you go find?
Oh, sorry, my computer is messing up. Let me just fix that.
What is this computer you speak of? Is this a new spell, Alistair?
It was nothing. It was just more chemicals that the doctor used. Turns out it was just nothing more.
Anything that could be helpful to find her? Or...
I think the best place to go looking is, like my mother said, at the places that she frequented when she was not like this. But what could also help is, and I turn to the mother, when she transformed, do you know if she was wearing anything like a ring or a necklace or any form of jewelry?
No, she didn't. She wasn't wearing anything like that. She was in bed. There was no reason, I suppose. She never took a liking to it.
Perhaps something else then. Something that she wouldn't be willing to part with. Stay.
I'm not sure. I don't even know how much of her was left.
We recognized some of her original consciousness was still there. So is there nothing that she was quite sentimental about, even her state of being bedridden?
She didn't take anything, if that's what you're asking.
Thinking back, because like we've obviously seen her. Was she wearing anything like any? I know she said she didn't really have any, but was she wearing any jewelry, or was there anything that I can think back and remember in particular?
Not that you can remember. Not jewelry, certainly not.
I don't think we mean what was taken. We mean anything in the house that helped us subdue her. Something that may give a moment of clarity to her, because there is still some of her left inside.
I'm not sure. She tore her room up to shreds. Everything's destroyed. At this point, Stelbor cocks his head towards you. I've got this. Turns and walks out the room.
Okay, the man has spoken.
What does he
Yeah,
have?
I sort of just. I'm not sure. But I think it's best if we leave now. The sooner we find her, the sooner we can help her.
Agreed.
And I turn to the lady. I say, thank you for having us and answering these difficult questions.
Can I insight check them?
And I walk out.
Insight check. Who?
Literally everyone who's spoken to.
Good.
I mean, sure.
I would probably say Alistair, since he's the Stelbor.
Okay.
Stelbor saying being Stelbor. Sorry, I keep mixing.
Alright, I'll roll a d20 then.
Stelbor
Yeah, sure.
being Stelbor. I don't really know these things sometimes, but
Okay. Yeah, sure. Roll your insight.
anyway. Oh fuck yes.
Oh no. Okay. Thank God. For a second there, I thought I hadn't turned the desktop audio back on.
Oh wow.
That would have been awful.
Yeah, that
Um,
definitely. I've matched my roll.
Alistair.
What does he discern from you, Alistair?
There's definitely something he's keeping from mentioning in front of the mother. I guess you can gather that from tone of voice and the way he's speaking.
Excuse me, my lady. I need to converse with my companions.
Of course.
And I'll step outside the room, and I'll close the door. I don't know if anyone else comes out.
I'll come out.
Was it?
I'll close the door.
Okay. Who else is leaving the room?
Oh,
Okay. Alistrine, are you staying in the room with the woman?
Arya's leaving this plane
No,
of
I'll
existence.
go.
Apparently.
Okay.
Mhm.
Aria, are you also leaving the room with Kensei and the group, or are you staying in the room with the woman?
Sorry, what did I miss?
Kensei is just going to. So basically, everyone just went back down to the room where the woman was with Kensei, and now Kensei's walking out to talk with all of
There's something there.
So what?
you. So I'm assuming then that everyone steps out. You don't see Stelbor around it. He seems to have disappeared.
I'll turn to Gaiak.
Hey, Kayak, could you track down Stelbor?
Of course, I'll do my best.
Wait. Before you go anywhere, I think we need to talk about what we're going to decide to do as a group.
Assuming we found something more.
There may be a way to save the girl, but it's not easy.
Is it over?
It could put one of our lives at
I would prefer to talk about this not in the residence of the mother.
I mean,
Somewhere more
can she hear
private.
us?
Can you hear through walls?
I mean, there's not lots of sound going on in the house. If you're shouting, maybe.
We can walk down a
She
bit.
was listening up against the.
Well, I'm gonna be. I mean, I'm.
Yeah, we'll try and go
keeping it
somewhere more
down,
private. Yeah, keeping voices down.
Okay.
But I still want to stay inside the estate.
Okay.
Yeah.
You walk to. Let's say you walk to the other side of the foyer. It's quite a large space. Walk to the other side, towards, but underneath where the stairs are. Get some private room there.
Anything else you wish to disclose?
The way
So-
to. Oh, you go.
I just lag.
Oh, I think she's
Oh, God.
she's lagging behind a little bit.
Sorry.
Arya and Alistrine, you're fading in and out of existence.
The two rogues are just like, what that.
I
phasing in and out.
reconnected because I thought Maya was frozen, but I think she's just having a bit of an issue.
Maya, hold up signs. Write it on paper and hold it up to the camera.
Well, while Maya's sorting that out, Gaiak, you go.
The way to potentially save the girl may put one of our lives or someone else's life at extreme risk.
Why?
Not risk, they will die.
They have,
Or to become a horror that she has become.
they have to die.
Of course, they can be revived, but we know how risky and unreliable that is.
Go for it, Sodi. Someone will die, but they can
From what
die.
Stelbor said, and forgive me, I don't know the exact specifics, but someone must trade blood with her, which means that they will be inflicted. They must then be killed and revived, and that is the only way to destroy the curse.
Similar blood as well, preferably human.
Hmm.
And
I
if
see.
we were to revive them, it needs to be someone who the person doing the reviving at least has a connection with.
So it would have to be one of us.
Or no, that does not work.
What does not work?
It could.
If we were to kill Castine and revive her, would that
We
work
don't.
the same?
We don't have a connection with her.
We could bring
Would
the
be
mother.
hard.
That's
would
what
be-
that's what I'm saying. We bring her mother.
No, but we are the ones doing the reviving, and we don't know her. We could try it, but it might be more difficult.
When you revive
We need-
Gaiak, you weren't
We
doing the
need
reviving.
3 people.
The point was that it needed new blood. She needs the human blood to be replaced in her. She's too far gone. She's at stage 2. Who would switch with her would be therefore if they died, whatever it would disappear.
Alestrin, do you have something in your throat?
Yeah,
Alistrina, you
not
smelling
gonna lie,
burnt
they had
toast?
us in the first half.
Sorry, am I?
You're
Yeah.
very
Not that bad.
Robotron.
Oh my days.
Yeah, it's
Alistrin's an
it's
android. It makes sense now.
Oh, she can do it. She's up.
At this point, you hear footsteps coming down the stairs,
Didn't have to go looking for him.
and you see Stelvor walking back into the foyer with like a chair leg in his hand.
Has it been sharpened?
He turns around and sees the group of you
Is that
by the
better?
stairs.
Oh.
Whoa. Playing hide and seek now, are we?
It's my favorite
They
game.
were explaining to me the specifics of.
I see.
That's what you meant when you said you had it handled. Then
Aye. Straight through the arts.
Will that kill her?
No paralyzer. If I can get it in. Preferably when she's already compromised.
Hmm.
Stelvor, could you give us a moment?
Why is that? Discussing your options. Very well. I'll be outside. Walks to the front door, you see him open it, close.
Alistrin kind of turns to the rest of the group and kind of like rubs her forehead a little bit. It's like, okay, let me propose an idea to you. I know you think that I am heartless and that I am cold and only looking at this from a logical perspective, but please, we of all people know that doing the right thing in the long run isn't always doing the right thing in the short term. We have 2 options here. We kill the vampire. We keep referring to it like it's still human somehow. It's not. It's a vampire. Our second option is that we risk someone's life to bring the vampire back into a human. We risk one of the 6 people who could potentially save the coast from a mind controlling it. It's not simply a question of one life for a life. It's a question of one life of a bedridden girl for a life of someone who could save an entire nation.
You think about things logically, but that doesn't mean the emotions of the situation are less impactful.
Of course not. But we can't let our emotions guide us.
we'll have no ally in Deepbay if Deepbay is laid to ruin by this disease. You think whoever created this one spawn wants to stop at one? I don't think it's a coincidence that this monster hunter was called into town by the city.
Surely we would be more well equipped then in killing one vampire rather than risking even more people who are equipped to deal with the situation.
Who is this ally you speak of? You say that we will have an ally in Deepbay.
Theodore.
You're assuming that Theodore wants us to kill her.
I said contracted. I said that this monster hunter was contracted by the city. I don't think it was a coincidence.
You don't think that this is just Theodore helping?
Could be Theodore covering his tracks.
And we are volunteering to do this?
Even if it is Theodore, think about what we're doing here. If we somehow manage to uncover exactly why Theodore is watching us, why he does not want to be scryed on, why he reacts to Aria the way he does, we know something is wrong with him. But if we uncover exactly what,
Ensei's going to hold up his finger and just go up to Storm and go, Storm, are we alone?
Has it been an hour?
Uh,
Not quite, I guess.
no.
No, I'll have a look around.
Okay. Roll me a perception check. Glance around. I mean, there are lights on in here, but no glowing orb.
Continue.
No, it doesn't look like.
Continue.
Get to me again or I'll cut it off.
Hit you again?
We
Well,
have another. We have another choice to make. Or he is devil. There is no doubt. We can use risk someone in power who is unlikely to help us because they do not wish to align themselves with someone a devil aligned themselves with, or worse, Sindri gets the gold empire seat of power and we are in a far worse position. However, option 2, Theodore has agreed to help us for whatever that reason is going to help us. We can hold off on the situation for now. We can pretend we know nothing. If we do, in the future we can arrange an agreement that gives us power. We can decide who we replace Theodore with. Suggest we allow Theodore to continue, that we put this on hold to an advantage. The powerful man.
You talk about taking an objective point of view, but if this was in the Drakenloft Isles, and it was potentially a fiend in charge of the Drakenloft Isles, you wouldn't let that go so easily, would you?
That's an entirely different situation.
It's
Why?
an entirely different situation to you, yes, but not in an objective circumstance.
In the Drakenloft Isles, we had someone who would take the place, who was on our side, have that luxury Deepbay.
I mean, your emotional involvement in Drakenloft Isles would change your opinion on the matter. If anything, this
Because
is
it's
worse.
a different situation.
If anything, this is worse. The Deepbay has a much more powerful sway over the Restless Coast. So is it really that wise to let a potential fiend go unchecked?
As we saw in Ravenwood, I understand that. But otherworldly interests in the nations of mortal people do not ever end well.
No, they don't. That's why we're trying to unite the kingdoms. There is an Illithid who is literally plotting to overthrow each and every kingdom. This is not something that just applies to Deepbay.
No.
We have a choice whether we deal with a problem solely in Deepbay or a problem that could be worse for everyone.
And where do the Illithid lie? They lie underneath the corners from Velum to Bellinor. This would benefit. This would benefit Deepbay if they were to be invaded first. In all circumstances. This is why we have to make sure Deepbay has pure intentions. And if Theodore doesn't, then Deepbay doesn't.
No one has pure intentions. Queen Cecilia doesn't have pure intentions. Devil or human, no one in nobility has pure intentions. Everyone is looking out for themselves.
And as they say, I'd sooner trust the devil I know. And you can read nothing of Theodore.
But at least we know him.
We know Cecilia. We know Mayfly. We don't know Theodore. And if Theodore is a fiend, or worse, then I'm not going to just leave.
It doesn't matter where Theodore is a fiend or not. What matters is there is a young girl in pain, turning into a vampire, killing people, hurting people, and there is a grieving mother who just lost her daughter right after losing her husband.
There are people in pain all the time. That is a fact of life.
So we
Yes,
should go
and why
about
do you...
So we should just abandon our quest then, shall we? Abandon our intentions to alleviate everyone's suffering. Let them fall prey to the illithid. If you're saying that everyone's in pain at some point, honestly.
Small pains and small griefs such as these are part of life.
Small
The
pains?
destruction, small pains, yes. Small pains compared to the destruction of entire nations.
It's pointless.
I don't think you've ever encountered a fiend. You're not talking like someone who has. If he is what we suspect him to be, I have witnessed fiends dominate entire towns, almost cities, into doing things like genocide, making people kill others that they do not want to kill. It's no different to the illithid.
Humans are more... Their intentions, their actions mean nothing to me.
We lost some of that. You cut out a little bit.
Intentions or actions mean nothing to me. What matters to me is that we save the Restless Coast. And we can only do that if we have a strong party.
And how can we save the Restless Coast if we can't save one girl?
Agreed.
We sacrifice one life for the sake of many.
Very well. I do understand your argument. Let me ask you this. If you had to give up your chance of getting revenge, would you do that?
For the sake of what?
For the sake of the Restless Coast? Would you give up your revenge? Would you give up your...
Would you let
Would
your
you give up the
father...
memory of your mother and your... I didn't think so. This conversation is pointless. I'm going to the...
I'll join you.
going to do what we can for this girl. Whether or not it benefits us or not. I have already considered the fact that even after we revive her, that she may not even be able to conjure up any information. What matters is that one victim of this disease is purified.
Regardless, it isn't our choice. I'm going to the
This
person.
is how
who
you
is.
lose wars.
Everyone loses eventually.
Not...
Do you plan to live forever then?
I plan to I plan to not throw away.
I didn't hear any of that.
Completely
Yeah,
you
you
completely cut out.
completely cut out.
Which is so bad because it sounded so
Good,
great.
yeah.
Oh.
I plan to life and not give away my life for the sake of a vampire.
She is not just a vampire, she was something before.
At this point, Kensei is already walking back up. Lady Willowdraft.
We're not done.
Okay.
All of this squabbling is all well and fun, but we still have the matter of fact that who the hell is going to sacrifice themselves for this girl?
No
I'm
one.
still walking.
She is right, though. We
They call
haven't
me dramatic.
discussed this.
You walk back into the room where Lady Willowdraft is sat in the chair. She is kind of leaning forward as you come in, and as you open the door, you see her kind of sit back. Is everything okay? I heard shouting. What's wrong? Something's wrong.
I have no easy news to share.
Oh, what?
Our resident expert in these matters, Stelvor, he has concocted a way that your daughter prison.
How?
In great difficulty, and the cost of another person's life.
There's no other way?
As far as I'm aware, no.
She is too far in her
Oh,
disease.
How many people came with me, just to check?
Oh, no, is this a different room?
Oh, yeah, I
This
was
is a different room. He's gone back into the room with her.
But it's the same room, sorry.
As far as I'm aware, her blood is tainted and needs to be replaced. The only way to do that is to replace it with the blood of another being, but that being must be.
You can't. Is this something a doctor can do?
No. Your daughter will be saved by it, but the blood is replaced will concoct the disease. Will catch the disease. She will be saved, but the person whose blood was taken will have to be slain. There will be a possibility of a revival, but it is incredibly slim.
So there's no hope then?
It has to be someone willing. My companions will not submit themselves to it, and I cannot submit myself to it. This is the heartless and horrible thing I ask. There is only one person. There is only one person I think who would be willing to do this for young Christina.
Wait, hold on. Before you say anything, I
I'm
thought.
not there.
Sorry, just. Can I clarify something about resurrection?
Uh-huh.
So it's not Castina that we're resurrecting. It would be somebody else.
Yeah, you in order to save her, there would need to be a blood ritual.
Okay, to swap the blood between
Castina-
Christina and somebody else.
Christine.
Yeah.
And then
So-
that person would then die, and we'd have to resurrect them.
We
But
would
in
have
order
to
to
kill
resurrect
them.
that
No.
person,
No.
We would have to
Oh,
kill
right.
that person
No,
because they would
you'd
then
have
be a
to
stage
kill
one
that
vampire.
person. They
And
effectively
then
go through the
revive them.
stages.
Yeah.
Yes.
okay, so we'd have to kill them, then revive them. But in order to revive someone, that person has to have an emotional connection to the person performing the revival.
Depends on the spell that's used. But
Okay.
Vivify doesn't require that.
Okay.
Revivify is a D20 roll plus your spellcasting ability modifier versus the resurrection DC, which is 10 plus how many times you died.
Okay. Fair enough. I just wanted to clarify that. Sorry, Kensei.
The other one, you're thinking of the other one.
Yeah, the one.
I was a little lost on that as well.
Yeah, that's so. The way that we did it, we did it with Gaiak was the wrong way round.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's scary though, because with your roll, I would have died.
Gaiak just suddenly dropped dead.
Well, actually, technically no, because if I remember correctly, I rolled a 6. It would have been a 6 plus the ability modifier, the wisdom modifier for Alistair, so it would have been at least a 10. So you would have survived.
So I'm maintaining complete eye contact with her while I say this.
Okay. Yeah.
There is only one.
Sorry, go on, Kensei.
There is only one person.
What do I have to do?
Please understand, my lady, I don't present this, but I do want it to be your choice. If you so choose the other path, endeavor to make good. But if you choose this route, you must be sure.
I need a moment.
I understand. This choice is not fair, just, or good, but is the choice that needs to be made. And for what it's worth, I understand.
How could you possibly understand?
You do not hear me. And I'll again maintain eye contact. I understand. And then I'll walk out and stand outside the room.
Before you do, she kind of meets your gaze. It's like a realization that crosses her face. And then you leave.
And I'll just stand outside.
Okay. You all see Kensei leave the room.
What did you discuss?
I told her she had a choice to make, and that we would honor the decision that she made.
Wow.
Alistair, if you mind, could you take a look at this for me? It's been weighing me down as we got here. And I'll kind of point to the vampire bite.
Oh shit. Can I do anything to that? Like, what do I do to like see if it's anything? I guess I could.
I mean, you'd have to identify to check for a curse.
So I'm assuming I feel weakened, right? Like.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's a good point. Hold on, I actually need to get 7 up then.
I'm assuming that hasn't gone away.
It has not.
Yeah.
Fuck, what's it?
Kensei's Bane, that's what it's called.
I need to.
You can try and use you can either you can identify it to find out if there is a curse there, or you can try and remove curse on it.
Last time I used remove curse, it didn't really go to plan.
I suppose so, but I think you could.
I could localize.
I think you can intend a specific curse to be the target. I will allow that, otherwise it will fuck Kensei up in the long run.
Yeah, okay. I'll look at it and then I'll just use a very concentrated energy ball of remove curse into the.
Okay. The shadow kind of swarms around the wounds and almost seems to seep in like mist through the puncture wounds, which are mostly scabbed over at this point, but it seems to absorb in. No change. Don't feel any different.
Did I detect any like curse being removed or anything happening?
Not that you could tell.
I still feel weakened.
Whatever it is, it's not a curse.
Can I use detect good and evil? See if I can get anything from it. Or did I get anything when I used it before?
You would have. I would say you would have got something before. You would have picked something up.
Okay, so
no undead that you pick up from it.
I think the best thing to do is to go to the church. It's not a curse. I could use lesser restoration, but I'll need to prepare that spell, which will take a night to do. So.
Perhaps once we've had some time to rest then.
At this point, you see the front door open again, and Stelbor steps back in. This time, the chair leg that was, once a chair leg, has been cut down to this pointed end. As he holds it in his hand and looks over at you, still mostly by the stairs. Come on. Time's a ticking.
Wait.
For what?
There's someone that we need to hear from.
Which is...
Whose room are we standing outside of?
He kind of gets a realization of what you're trying to say. Oh. No. No.
This is where I get annoyed that Kensei has a mask.
Why not?
Because I'm not in the business of killing elderly women.
You either kill an elderly woman or you kill a child. I see no difference here. Either way, it's killing.
One of them is currently a monster.
One of them has potential to be saved.
Does, but currently isn't a human.
But could be.
Could be.
Many people would say the same. From what I understand, that our stream was telling me, many people would. Should I consider you a monster? I was under the impression that you took offense to.
I'd be careful who you say things to. I'm the only one that can do this. I brought the suggestion to you, so don't give me that.
And as the person who brought it up, I would have thought you'd have fought for it.
You'd rather sacrifice one of our lives, I see.
I would rather not risk the life of an elderly woman
Just one of
who's
us,
clearly very frail.
It is her choice.
Alright.
I have
It's
not.
also my choice.
I have not made her do anything.
And how can I be sure about that? You seem very self-serving, you lot.
Because I'm standing here, waiting to hear the last plea of a grieving mom.
Tell me what makes you think her life is worth more than one of ours.
I think it's the opposite.
There's one thing I've learned so far, it's that you're not very good at listening.
He hasn't lived a correct life, a proper life.
I'm not saying that your life is any less worthy. I simply look at who's more likely to survive. She's old. How can we be sure she'll survive the transfer? If she dies, then they both do.
That I wasn't made aware of.
Because I didn't think you were going to suggest using an elderly woman.
You didn't think that we would tell the person who's most involved about our...
No, because I thought it was pretty obvious that she'd offer.
This is ridiculous. A life is a life.
I think he is speaking practically, not emotionally.
I'm speaking practically also.
I'm getting tired of this. I'll do it.
Oh.
Yes. I trust Alistair to be able to revive me. I trust you all. It's not the first time I've escaped death.
No, we need you. If you do die, then nobody will be able to present any of the other potential candidates for help with a realistic interpretation of an illithid. Nobody else can do that. Nobody else can produce those images.
All I've known since I've met all of you, all I've known since I've come through this other side, is the search for an objective point of view, which is meant that you'd rather sacrifice individuals over the larger, which I understand, but where is it going to get us when we sacrifice everyone to something we don't even know if we're going to achieve?
We do know if we're going to achieve it. We will achieve it. If you have any doubt in that, goodness, what have you been on this journey for?
Because we keep coming across hurdles like this. I didn't think we'd come to a city which is potentially being controlled and puppeted by a fiend. I didn't think.
What?
Whoops. That's kind of perfect.
He means a fiend is in the person of...
Roll me a deception check. Roll me a fucking deception check right now.
Probably not going to work. It's worth a try.
Jesus Christ.
No way.
He just
There's
rolled
no way
natural.
it's gonna work.
I bet he's gonna roll natural.
Oh, okay, better than I thought it'd be.
Yeah. Oh no, that wasn't a natural one. I thought it was. It was actually.
I thought I would get way worse than that.
Jeez.
Oh, I like that. That came out of a place.
No, it's still not good enough.
Worth a try.
Oh, shit.
No, I mean his is not good enough.
Oh.
to be,
Yes.
Oh shit!
like
Kente.
his surprise. He looks at you surprised, and then your quick speech is enough to redirect his attention. Given the weight of the moral weight of the situation,
We're about to blow his fucking mind.
Goodness me, yeah.
he's got a lot to think of right now, and
It's
Yeah.
gonna make it worse.
that was easy enough to get him to redirect his thoughts.
Jesus Christ.
flowery language. We just, I don't know if this has come apparent, but we don't see eye to eye to the lord of this city.
A lot of people.
Well, that's neither here nor there, is it? Look, I am more than happy to just slay this vampire. I offered you a solution, but I will not sacrifice an elderly woman who is most certainly not even going to survive the transfusion, much less be revived.
Who
If you
is most
kill her
likely to
daughter-
survive?
Someone in their prime, someone young.
If you kill her daughter, she won't.
Well,
strength.
so not Storm then.
I am younger.
Her daughter's already dead.
I'm
Her
younger.
daughter.
She's been
is
living here.
dead.
Dawn,
Two
don't you
parts
also
of
have a
us.
wife and kid?
Not
Yes,
to her.
but
No.
I have the vitality. Well, I don't know if I have a child. That's
That's why you said you had a child. Maybe I misheard. I'm sorry.
no, I.
He has a
I
wife,
had-
but
I was married, but I mean, I have the vitality of someone who was 17 years in an ageless plane. So I am younger than my actual age.
you've
They have to
seen
be.
her
They
cry.
have to be pure, right? No corruption of any kind.
Why?
Isn't that what you said?
The blood can't be tainted, no.
Does that mean by
No
magic?
curse.
Does magic count as tainted?
I guess that depends.
I'm not an innate sorcerer. I learned my magic study.
No, not something like that. That won't make a difference. You're talking about magic, like being able to use magic innately. No, I'm talking about something that alters you,
Right.
changes you, puts your body into a state of flux.
Right.
But regardless, our decision's going to be made for us if we don't hurry the fuck up.
Agreed. Then let's just get to this
Only
when
people.
Have I heard anything coming from inside the room? Any?
I mean, you can. In this moment of discussion, probably not. You can roll a perception check just to hear if there's any movement.
Oh, come on. Oh, see, but it's not doing it. Oh, there we go.
You do not. This has been a very heated discussion, and your concentration has been
How long has it been since I left her?
a few minutes. A few minutes.
Okay.
But I will say the door opens and she is stood there. Makeup smeared down from tears, but looking as presentable as she can. She opens the door. Seb will just kind of looks across at her and then back at you, Kensei.
Have you reached a decision, my lady?
Yes. I did.
I'm just waiting.
We're all in agreement?
I'm waiting to hear what she says.
And she said she'll do it.
Oh,
I
Sorry.
don't know, maybe you cut out. Stubble just looks across the rest of you.
you are certain of this, my lady?
Yes.
My companion, and again, I'll gesture to Stillborn, urges me to let you know that the chances of this, of you surviving this, are incredibly slim.
I understand. Stubble just turns and walks
Look after him.
The doorway. Okay. I want to do it. I have to try.
And so,
Someone has to.
my lady, I suggest that take an hour to get your affairs in, and then meet us at the Wayfarer's Rest Inn.
Very well. She walks up towards the stairs. Slowly and somberly, but as well as she can. Aria, you're walking after Stelbor.
Yeah. I'll kind of just jaunt up next to him. We are a fucked up bunch, huh?
Aye.
Any consolation, I'm with you. I'm happy to just kill her.
Would be the easier thing to do, wouldn't it?
God, would it be so much easier. More humane as well, you know. Kill one to save many.
True. But not everyone has to die, I guess.
Also true. I fully support you. That's all I'm saying. This is your job.
Which one of you is the monster?
You've been speaking to us, huh?
Aye. The one who keeps chatting shit, she mentioned that one of you were a monster, hunted by my group. Which one of you is it?
Interesting. Did not know that was something people were so willing to spread around.
Aye. Be careful you give your secrets to, I guess.
Oh, exactly. I suppose you've already been told it is true. What would you do if you found out who it was?
Well, as I told your friend, not my contract.
And,
But I would urge whoever it is to consider who might have put one on them.
I was going to say...
There's no contract without a person to put it down.
Yes, you said that you were hired by the local authority. Is that how all of your contracts work?
No. Just this one.
This one.
Usually it's finding work on the road. Plenty of monsters to be slain in these parts.
Oh yes. The world is becoming more and more dangerous.
Aye.
I don't suppose your people are well versed with creatures from deep down dark places. Maybe from other worlds. Who knows?
Not to the best of my knowledge. I mean, things that burrow in caves, aye. Sometimes. Sometimes.
Not quite the creatures I have in mind. But still, you are skilled in a specific trade, which may be very useful in our cause.
Depends if you have the coin.
We need a lot of coin. How would one go about discovering who put the contract on them?
Well, I promise to have a conversation about that when the job's done. But I'll let you know this for free. Contracts are kept pretty quiet if they're from particular employers. So you'd probably have to find the contract itself at Misscape.
Good to know. First, one thing at a time, huh?
Aye. How long are your friends going to be? We've got to go.
Hopefully they'll be here soon. But just know, and I lock eyes with him, I'm prepared to do what needs to be done.
Aye. So let's swap back to the group in the house.
Oh, I'm just going back downstairs now that I've said that she's going to meet us in the Wayfinder's Rest.
I'm gonna go talk to Alistair. Ask for a word. Alistair, a moment, please.
Everyone's having their Game of Thrones schemes in the background.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes.
Over here, if you will.
I oblige. What is it?
I know you have certain experience with things that are out of your control. And this particular one being something very much out of her control. I just hope to be on the same page as you with what we intend to do and what we must do to keep her alive.
Where are you going with this?
I don't mean this in a selfish way, but this is not the first time you've is this the first time you've encountered a vampire?
Of my knowledge, yes.
My teacher told me a lot of things about them. It was in a lot of the books I used to study. They're as powerful as any fiend. I just worried that if we were to kill it, then we won't know anything about its creation.
I'm not worried about the information we may or may not get from her. My point in this is to make sure that a young girl who is suffering is able to live her life that she has lost.
Of course. And by the sounds of things, she didn't get to have the life she deserved anyway. But I mean, if we were to just kill her, then it won't lead to any fruitful outcome.
So we're both in the same boat of saving her.
Yes. Maybe for slightly different reasons, but I agree. I think we should save her.
Just worried about the mother.
He'll be okay. I meant it when I said I would. I'd undergo the resurrection.
I know. I know. Hopefully none of us have to die though.
No. I hope not. I hope not. I haven't always trusted you, Alistair.
Really? I thought you always trusted me.
Don't jest. When I found out that you were a part of a cult,
Yes, thanks for letting everyone know that. That was very nice.
I did you a favor.
Hmm?
You'll see that in the long run.
I think I'm starting to see it now. I'm being completely honest. But anyway, that's enough about me. We've got a young girl to try and save.
Yes. Just don't hesitate if you have to. Bring me back. Because I might do something that the group doesn't agree with. You have my word, yes.
If you end up dying, I'll bring you back.
Thank you.
Let's not keep the group waiting.
Okay. So, the rest of you, what do you wish to do?
I informed Lady Willowdraft to meet us at the Wayfinder. Perhaps we should go there and rest before she shows up.
Prepare. Actually get a plan of how we're going to subdue her.
I think
Elmore has that covered.
the difficult part, as Stelbor said, will be Lady Willowdraft survives the procedure. I think Alistair.
They're both going to die, you know.
Can you just shut up?
Going to die down.
We already get your point in this situation. You don't need to say it again.
You're making the wrong decision.
That's a point of view.
They're both
Okay.
going to die, and it will be on your head.
Yes. Well,
Anyway, Kensei, what's she saying?
I think you will be vital to this. If while she's going through the procedure, we focus on keeping her healed and healthy, perhaps with potions and your magic, to make sure that she survives the procedure.
That sounds a lot like torture, but
Does
if I'm able to
she
do it,
has been told the risk?
like I said, I'll try my best.
I wish to rest my.
I'm gonna start walking towards the docks.
Okay, at the moment, you guys are all still inside the building.
Yeah,
You've not
I'm
even left the building
gonna
yet.
leave and start heading down there.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go to the Wayfinder's Rest, like Kensei said.
Okay.
So,
Well, as you begin to walk out the building as a group, Starball goes, "Finally, fuck's sake, right." She told us it was a crypt, right? Sure, a graveyard can't be that hard to find.
Noble graveyard at that. They don't tend to bury their dead close to the peasantry.
Aye, which means it's likely in this district. She also said we could probably see it from up here, so let's take a look. is your patience joining us?
Your patience. What?
Aye, your patient, your sacrifice.
They'll be amongst us.
Meeting us at the Wayfinder's Rest.
What? Why would she meet us there?
Because she needs to get ready.
We don't have time for her to get ready. She
I'm
needs to be
sorry,
ready
would you
now if
like
you're going to
to-
bring her.
Kenzie,
I don't think you guys understand the severity of the situation. This thing has been a vampire for months. It could go stage 3 tonight. And if it does, the what? 7 of us are not going to be enough for it.
So we can't spare 1 hour?
then we leave now, and somebody goes to the Wayfinder's Rest to bring her. While we subdue it, hopefully you shall arrive once we found and subdued it. We'll go from there.
And I don't know if you remember still, some of us, I mean me, are still weakened from the last fight. Even if it's just an hour, we need an opportunity to regain our strength. We can't be taking this on lightly.
Walking through the city does not take an hour. You want to travel there and back with her.
She got ready here.
I
Why
mean,
she got to go
agreed.
to the tavern?
Exactly, I mean,
Yeah.
agreed.
Aye, why would she move all the way back to the tavern?
Let's just bring her now.
Sound like the present.
If you need to take an hour, then fine. But we can't spare any more than that. I know these things.
Fine.
Sort of.
We will wait here for her to come out.
Fine. Do whatever you need to do.
In that time I'm waiting, I'm gonna see, can I get a short rest?
You can take a short rest.
Screw that.
You can
Okay.
take a short rest in that time.
Whew.
Aaron, you can say, right?
Anyone who wants to
Is it just me?
stay with the group and take a short rest?
Yeah,
Does
I'm
Stelgor
gonna-
look
Okay,
like he's gonna wander off?
I mean, he wanders off from the group. You can see him leave the group and sit somewhere on his own.
Right, okay.
Takes his blades out, and you can see him sharpening the blades,
Alright, yeah.
fixing up some of his potions,
Let's all
and
just take a
strapping
short
them
rest
to his
then.
belt.
Why not?
taking a short rest then, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well.
Still go into the docks.
So we're gonna go to the docks. It's gonna take you quite some time. You're definitely not gonna be back in an hour. Just to let you know.
I know.
Okay. So all of you watch as Alistrine leaves the compound of the gates. Okay. No one stops you. You
Of
you
course.
continue on.
You
Wait.
alright?
A stream.
Are you deaf?
I don't know. I think she's paused.
I can't tell if you're just being still or you're frozen.
I think she's frozen.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
she's-
Yeah.
What a brilliant time, though. Eh? What a brilliant time.
Yeah, she's
Amazing.
gone.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucked that up.
Meant to roll a d10.
Yeah, she's crashed again.
It's a D10.
No, for my second wind.
I have some temporary hit points. Does anyone know what that's
That's
from?
Oh, is it not plus your constitution?
No, it's plus your fighter level.
Oh, right, of course.
I'm just gonna get rid of them because I don't know what they're from.
9. So that's...
The temporary hit points.
Yeah, I can't remember what they were from. I had 6 for some reason.
Probably aid. Yeah, it's probably from aid, right?
That would have worn off ages ago.
Yeah, that would have worn off ages
Yeah, okay,
ago.
cool. I'll take them.
Oh, yeah, maybe you just didn't take them off
Yeah,
if
I
that's what it
forgot
was.
to. They're gone.
Must have used a bit die as well.
I didn't take any damage. That was actually a very quick fight.
Oh god, she's like fully frozen.
No!
Was kind of perfect timing though.
Goodness gracious.
Red balls of fire.
So yeah, you can all take a short rest.
Perfect.
Oh,
Is there anything else I get
I
back?
get my spells back. Don't think I used any.
Yeah, all I used was an arcane shot. That's
I can't remember.
Oh,
Oh,
hello,
hello. Oh, hey, get you back.
Maya.
I heard a
Oh, I thought that was her.
It's me, sorry. That's
Oh.
me.
I don't know how
Why
you
did you
managed.
sound like
yeah, I
Maya?
don't know how you managed to do that in such a good
You
male
sounded
voice.
exactly like her. That was
Oh, no
creepy.
way. Cool. I wonder what you were
It's
saying.
annoying.
What a time
'cause
for
I was
what a
gonna
time for her
chase
to
after
freeze.
her, but oh, she's completely gone. Yeah, she's gone. Man, they need to have a word with whoever supplies their internet.
Well, we'll see what happens there with that. But is there anything else the rest of you
I would.
want to do? You got an hour
I'd
to
wait
prepare, and
until the mother comes out, and I'm gonna cast aid on her, Storm, and Arya.
5
Oh,
temporary
I
hit
get them
points.
back.
Yep. 5 extra hit points.
5 extra hit points.
how long does that last?
8 hours.
Oh, lush.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. How many more?
5.
Thief.
Okay, it's good to know.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. You've returned.
I have returned. From the bay.
I was gonna say, but you cut out. I would have chased after you. You good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. What's up?
I know.
Oh
she
no,
cut
she
out.
got again.
Sorry. Sorry, I was just taking a pause. I... You all accuse me of being selfish, but not once has anybody in this group stopped to consider what this girl would want. If it was up to me and I knew that my mother was going to die, I would rather die.
Mother
Call
won't
you
die.
selfish.
And then you're not there.
You're not
unfortunately,
there.
It's just Aria.
I did not call you selfish. I am in agreement. I think we should just kill her. But there are sides to every coin, you know? I do see that. Tricky. This situation.
If I come with you, then I will kill her.
I would like you to come with us. I don't like you going off on your own, especially in a city where we do not have a lot of allies. I may or may not stop you if you wanted to do that. I cannot speak for the boys. They seem pretty adamant about saving her, so be prepared for that. And their reasons are valid.
They can hate me. I'm used to that.
But don't come on off, please. Stay with us. Stay with me.
Well then, I hope you're prepared to face the consequences. I am.
I'm excited to see what happens.
Alright.
Come.
Sorry, not to mess with the atmosphere or anything. Now that my health is lowered, my max health is now 69. So
even with your lowered health.
my lowered health is now 69. That is my max.
Jesus Christ.
What would it be without the lowered health?
80.
Probably in the 70s.
80?
80.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah,
big
he's
boy.
got.
Yeah, me,
He's a beefy
Right.
boy.
Your,
So
your
me
lower
and
health
Kensei-
is higher than my max.
me and Kensei both have 80, right? Zuko has more. I figured out.
How? How?
Yeesh.
No, he does.
Yeah,
no,
he does. He honestly
No,
does.
he does.
Honestly
How does a warlock have more?
He honestly
Heck.
his constitution
Hey, man,
is like
spellcasters,
mad.
my
Uh,
constitution.
Beefy. Warlocks can be
Oh yeah,
beefy.
he's got a big. He's got a big.
Yeah.
one,
Especially if you're a
actually.
race that's
Yeah.
beefy as well.
This is the thing as well, because I was entertaining getting the tough feet. Now it's gonna potentially break it.
Heck.
Hey, do what you wish.
Did you not see Boot boot?
During your short rest, you see Starball kind of leaves the gates, and heads over to the edge of the stack that the manor is built on. And you can see him, though he's like about 100 or so feet away, appears to be looking over the edge, then returns to you. Right, I see it. The graveyard to the north on the next stack. He turns to the mother. I'm sure they've told you the risks. But I won't stop you, and I won't stop any of you. That's a decision you want to make. No skin off my back. I made you the offer. Now, are you ready to go? Let's get this done.
Let's go.
Ready.
He turns and begins to leave. Do you follow?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So he leads first out of the estate gates and begins the winding path back down the stack. The mother clings fairly close to the back of the group, closest to Kensei, trying to walk more or less side by side with him. She definitely has this kind of uncomfortable air about her, and doesn't seem regretful, but seems like someone who has accepted their end. Eventually you reach the bottom of the stack and return to the expensive streets that make up the Rise Market, and you continue northward, and very quickly you find yourself turning back up another stack in this almost ribcage like space of the Rise, where all these stacks kind of just crop out of the ground, and you begin to make your way up another pathway. After about half an hour of walking, and somewhere in the region of 200 feet above the ground, or at least above where the buildings of the lowest level of the Rise are, you find yourself coming towards this graveyard of sorts, full of tiny buildings and monuments that weave around the craggy cliffsides and jagged edges of this stack. Staircases and paths wind around them, pine trees dotted along the sides. The entire yard is cut off by a metallic fence that creeps along the edges of the path past the graveyard. You're overwhelmed by an air of melancholy that overhangs it, and you see slightly ajar gates that lead into the graveyard proper. And as you approach, whatever lies ahead, tough decisions, who knows? We'll end the session there.
Oh, Amazing. Incredible.
That was the most
Moral dilemmas.
RP sessions we've had in
Fucking hell.
ages, man.
That was some heavy shit.
Oh, Civil War. Eat your heart
Oh
out.
my god,
Eat
I
your heart out.
genuinely am so
And I was like Tony Stark, and I'm like Captain America. Like,
But even
Oh my
like,
God,
even
yes,
the
I
good
love it.
people who want to saber have their own reasons for doing it.
wait.
Ah.
I was thinking about that, or even
Mate.
yeah, like you said, all the even good.
Because this is the
people
thing,
have
right?
really
Because Jack is thinking of this like a Witcher quest.
This is like
Probably
a Dragon
gonna
Age
end
quest as
well.
well. Literally,
Yeah.
half the party want to do the good option, half the party want to do the bad
You
option.
know, it's like, yeah, actually, you know what? Speaking of Dragon Age, do you know what it reminds me of, El?
Which one?
Kid.
Say again?
You remember the choice with the possessed kid?
Yes, yes.
It's like that, isn't it?
Exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah, because like we
We
could
love
just,
a moral dilemma.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or even the good
Right.
option. There's definitely some selfishness in the good option as well.
Some of you have got to be careful.
Oh, yeah,
though, because
there's-
if you choose the wrong option, you'll lose the romance option.
Oh
which
yeah, yeah.
helps the rest of
That's
you.
true. But I'm not secure, guys, so I'm good.
Yeah, no, our romance is fine. Oh.
Oh, it's great. That was. Do you know what? I thought there might be a little bit of disagreement, but I genuinely had no idea it was going to set off a literal civil war.
Yeah, love it.
I am so pleased
So
with
excited.
that.
Well, this
It's
is a
gonna
big
come
part
back.
we're in. We're in a big part of the story. It's not just this vampire situation. It's everything else.
Because I know this is like Jack thinking of this was, oh, this is probably not going to end well. But I have to play Kedsey.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, no.
I love it. I love all the decisions. It's great. I love the conflict.
No, that's you're playing your character. We're not playing us
So
right now.
Oh,
We're playing our
right.
characters.
I know as hater, like,
this
killing
is
him would
like-
be the easiest thing to do. But...
Mate,
I feel
Reason.
so bad for Maya though, who I genuinely believe has the complete opposite belief.
the devil's advocate, man. Like, oh mate.
God.
I love it.
Fuck, I thought
Hang on.
Kensei was going to
Maya's yelling
explode over Alice. That sounds so dodgy. I thought he was going to just like.
version.
Mate, what were you yelling? What
Rip
were you
into
yelling,
our
mate? I
stream.
can't hear you.
Yeah, mate, you're muted.
For this whole time.
Oh no, she's
Oh.
frozen
Oh,
again.
no.
Oh no, she's
Hello.
not frozen.
I'm back, you're back!
Hey.
She's basically ranting about how I'm sat there the whole time, like literally in my head I'm like, you're such a stuck-up bitch.
Oh, that's
I
brilliant.
love it.
The
I just realised we're
absolute.
still actually streaming, so
I know this is
let's
a
end that there. Before we have another conversation, because I know it's going to end up going off. Let's end that there. So, thank you very much,
Thank you.
Woody. As always,
Thanks, Woody.
you're wonderful
Sexy.
boy.
Sexy piece of wood.
It's gonna be so fucking.
Wow. Okay.
You make my Woody
fair.
wobble.
Okay, and on that absolute fucking bombshell,
Stay
we'll
there.
see,
my
we'll see you
arrow.
next Thursday. No, not Thursday. Next
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah, there we go. Next Sunday. Until then,
Adios.
Sam, take it away. Take it away, Sam.
Day!
Day!
Smell